Okay, good evening. East Lyme Board of Selectmen special meeting for the purpose of budget review on March 2nd, 2026. It's 5:30 p.m. This is at East Lyme Town Hall and hybrid and via Zoom. So if we could rise and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, great. Okay, so this is a special meeting, and we're continuing the review of budgets. And tonight we're going to hear from the East Lyme Fire Service. So who is going to address the board? Looks like we have Chief Mundy here. Good evening, Chief.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, rest of the board. First of all, I appreciate the fact that you give me an opportunity to do it later than the originally scheduled date. In spite of what public media might have said, I wasn't suspended or on admin leave. I was actually recovering from surgery, so I do appreciate the extended time.
We're glad you're back.
Just a little bit of brief data before I get into it. Most of you saw the same presentation last year. It's a lot of the demographics of the town. I'm going to kind of go through it real quick and just get to some of the numbers from where we were from last year. So can we fly through it? You can skip that one. Still currently have 3 stations, headquarters on Grand Street, Station 2, which is down at Rocky Neck end, and Station 3, the Flanders Station. You can see the dates of their when they were built and put in service, and that kind of a good point, because in capital I did ask for some money to look at a study about an independent study to see about future, I won't say development, but just to look at the plan on how to restore them and bring them up to current date. Next, Kevin. Our fleet, same as last year. I do have one highlighted ladder, B15, which is a 2005. And in the capital, I do ask for money to do a refurb on it, this was part of and we did a 20-year plan when I first got here, for a complete refurb in 2027. So just point that out. Come on. Nothing's really changed with the fleet. Keep moving. And I do have a copy of this presentation, so I can hand it out if you do want to reference it later. Shows what the districts are. We cover 34 square miles of land, of water, and total 42 square miles. Our staffing hasn't changed from last year. We have 12 firefighters who are working a 24/48 schedule. 2 firefighters are stationed 24/7 at company, Station 1, which is over on Grand Street headquarters, and the other 2 full-time firefighters are in the Flanders Station in the north end of town. As we can, we do staff with part-time firefighters between the hours of 8 and 10 p.m. over at the Rocky Neck end of town, over at Station 2. I do make a note at the bottom that we currently have 2 firefighter EMTs that are on military deployment. We have 1 on workers' compensation, and we have 1 on FMLA. So literally, we only have 8 firefighters who are currently working, and there's no anticipated return with the military deployment, especially in light of what's recently occurring throughout the Middle East, which one of my firefighters is deployed in the Middle East right now. Moving on. Just the stat from last year, nothing's changed with regards to the volunteers. Next. I bring up the state of Connecticut did a study, this and a mapping project for the whole fire service within the state. Move forward. This was the same information I put out last year. We actually participated in this also, and they came out with some findings, which I'll get to. Next page. The Office of the Comptroller's Office, they released, part of it was, and these are some of the highlights, They found that the number of firefighters in Connecticut has decreased total, both career and volunteer, total of 50%, with an alarming decline of 62.7% amongst the volunteer. And they're calling this a crisis. And this is something that is occurring not only in Connecticut, but across the United States. Next. Kind of gives you the data of what came out of that study, the breakdown of volunteers versus paid, and the steady decline from 2016 to 2017. And the only reason I bring this up is because, again, I think when I get into the budget, the majority of my budget is pretty much a status quo from last year, with the exception I'm asking for additional personnel to try to bring the ranks up to supplement this. Next page. These are all articles that were taken throughout and the top two were recently from last month, and it references that that survey that was put out by the U.S. The Connecticut Fire Academy and the state of Connecticut, and it's basically showing that over the last several years we've had a close to a 200,000 decrease in just volunteering alone across the country.
Do you know why you're having that?
It does get into it, and that I could have brought the whole article, but it references a lot of the. It's just not the career. They reference that it's not the career that it used to be. There's a lot of requirements that are being asked of people who have full-time lives, jobs, families, and we were just talking about a little while ago. I say back in the day, you didn't have all the NFPA and the OSHA restrictions and requirements, so that you could just throw on pump gear and run to the fire. And now you can't essentially do that. You're held to the same standards as and I'm going to use the term the career, not to call them any less professional, but and that's a big part of it. That's it.
I've actually seen similar numbers with police officers. I said I've actually seen similar numbers with police officers, teachers, that type of thing as well. So not just firefighters.
Yep. Thank you. Next. Talk about the call volume. I brought this up last year. This is just the trend of where we were, and I left it off with 2024 because at the time of last year's presentation I didn't have the numbers. Next page. Gave you some predictions of where we might be at the current trend, and the prediction was that we were going to come in around 3,644. Well, I was wrong. We actually came in about 100 calls higher. So we're actually hitting higher numbers than anticipated, and that's our calls of service. Next
And those,
page.
can I just back up just a little
Sure
bit? And
thing.
I would love a copy of that.
I have a copy of the whole thing. I'll give you.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yep.
That way I can make notes as I'm
Sure
going
thing.
through.
So- go on, sorry.
So for volume, that's just fire calls or
Fire
service calls?
EMS.
Or
That's
so
anything that when the bell rang, our people
So it's
responded.
fire or is it ambulance?
Both.
It's both?
Both,
Okay.
because the way the town is set up, that we do have the East Lyme Ambulance Association, but the East Lyme Fire Service, we carry what's called the R1 license, the first responder license. So on the majority of the calls that are coming out, when an ambulance is going, we are also sending medically trained firefighters who are also responding, and in most cases, not all, but in a lot of the cases, arrive first and initially provide first aid, provide the life-saving measures. And I'm going to get into a couple of calls that we actually responded to in that R1 capacity,
It's okay.
and
He's
where
like covering it, it's okay.
the outcome was very, very favorable.
Okay, and so for call volume, do you have data that's showing?
Next slide.
Got it.
Next slide.
So yeah, I just.
Here's a breakdown of our
That's what I
calls.
was going to ask for exactly.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the shot you're
That was
looking for.
exactly my question.
37 from July 1st of 2024 to June of 2025, 3756. That's a breakdown of our calls. 73 actual fire calls that we responded to, 3 explosions. I'm not going to read them all to you, but that's exactly what's there. If you look at the right column from July 1st to present, that's where we're at as of, I think it was Friday when I ran the numbers. So we're kind of on the same trend, and if I look back at where we were predicted, I think we were about within 20 or 30. Yeah, we were targeted at last year's presentation at this time for 1,963, so 1,924. So we're within we're within the same numbers there.
So, quick question, service call, does that mean like a health-related
Could be
service
anything.
call?
It could be
anything.
water in the basement, it could be a lift assist, it could be somebody whose kids
okay.
are locked in a motor vehicle. It's any, and then you have the others, which quote unquote.
Yeah, I see.
This is based on NFIRS, which is the National Fire Reporting System,
Ah.
and they give you parameters on how to tabulate your data. And it's fires, these are the actual categories. So if we have something that doesn't fall in any one of the other ones, it's just basically how you code it. But the majority, as you can see, we run a lot of EMS.
And they, can you tell how many go out into the community versus the prison?
Thank you.
I can run that, I don't have
Just
that.
curiosity, because I'm pretty sure that you go there quite
We
often.
can run that.
Might be.
Yep, that might be data that might be worth for it.
Yeah.
I can get that for you.
Okay.
So,
Great. And thank you for making the copy. I appreciate that. Thank you.
anything else on that? Next. These are some of the highlights, and I just picked 3 off the top. Reference Thanksgiving Day. Cardiac arrest came in. Firefighter EMTs arrived at the house prior to the ambulance getting there. Lady in her 50s was in full cardiac arrest, and directly as a result of the efforts that were put forth by the firefighters, and I'm getting this from the paramedics and the doctors at the emergency room, this woman has made a full recovery. So what otherwise would have been a very tragic day, this is one of those things that you should call the media and they should do a story on, because I received text messages with pictures of the family in the hospital thanking us, and actually I have a couple of the guys who were there on that particular day. So this is one of those where, you know, we toot our own horn. This is why they do what they do. A couple weeks later, and maybe it wasn't even a couple weeks, but a short period, not too far down the road, again, another cardiac arrest comes in, right on Main Street, down by the theater. Our R1 personnel arrived first, immediately began doing CPR, and started doing life-saving measures. And again, because of that early intervention, there's a successful outcome. Because obviously when cardiac arrests, minutes mean a lifetime. So that's why that's the importance of that. That's why we do respond to those calls simultaneously, and it's through no fault of the ambulance. In a lot of cases, we beat them there because they may have already been transported to another call. So this is just another service that we're providing. And the last one I want to throw out there is a maternity call. We actually responded to, within the last year, we responded to a residence for a woman in active labor, and our guys physically were a part of delivering a healthy baby boy right there in the living room. So
It's good.
good stuff. So that's pretty much all. Yes, sir.
So I have a question, and I understand that there's a current labor negotiation happening right now with the fire service, so perhaps you can't speak to all this. But the 2448 schedule with the Kelly Day came about through negotiations last time around. And one factor that was part of the negotiations was that the 2448 was not the first pick of the actual firefighters. They preferred some other situation. However, we didn't have staffing levels to make that happen. There's been a proposed increase in staffing, or kind of a reconfiguration of staffing. Maybe this is too early to ask, but would that increase allow for a different kind of schedule that would give the firefighters what they were looking for in the earlier negotiations?
If we were to go to the additional 6 would bring us to 18. I believe that would give us the ability to go to a 2472. But I believe that would, and I would have to look at the model that I have back in the office. I believe that still only allows for 4, 2, and 2.
Okay.
Where by keeping that on, and I'm not suggesting that that's not the way to go. I'm just trying to explain it the way it is. If we were to add the 6 additional with the current, it would give us the ability to staff 2, 2, and 2. Two firefighters at all 3 stations. But the short answer to your question is I believe it would.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else? All right. So then I'm going to Yes.
So, right now, given the firefighters that you do have, how are the stations staffed?
2 at headquarters on Grand Street,
Okay,
2 in Flanders. And then as we can, because of manpower, we have Station 2, which is the Niantic over by Rocky Neck, rather. We will fill with a part-timer between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 p.m.
And part-time is different than volunteer.
Correct.
Yeah.
They're actually town employees.
So you are utilizing volunteers to offset costs or no?
Progress.
I thought I did it.
Making progress.
Sorry, can you say that again?
So are you utilizing volunteers to offset cost or no?
We don't have volunteers. The town does not have volunteers. The departments have volunteers. The short answer is no, because they haven't made themselves available for shift. I don't know if I can answer that question. If the volunteers, if we had an allotment of volunteers that were responding, we would certainly utilize them.
Is there an environment that is encompassing and welcoming of volunteers?
I believe there is, but then again, I don't have that. I think the answer that you're looking for is that
I'm not,
No,
let
no,
me be
I'm
clear,
trying
hold
to-
on. I'm not looking for a specific answer, I'm just looking for the truth. I think I just want to clarify. I ask a lot of questions to everybody, okay? So don't get nervous. I ask a lot of questions, and I ask them for a reason. It's part of my role. We had a certain model here in this town, and now we do not. And there's a tremendous amount of a cost that goes along with the model that we have right now. And for some, it could be viewed as unsustainable. Number one, we need to make sure that we have all services in public safety, right? And those things need to be attended to first and foremost. But I'm trying to have conversation and prompt questions to see if we can find a good model here that isn't going to cost our taxpayers millions of dollars. That's all.
I understand
So
that.
just answer, just
Yep.
honestly. I'm not
I
looking
believe
for a
the model that
specific
you're
one.
referring to has not changed. What's changed is, in order to be a volunteer and actually participate in emergency responses, there are certain requirements that need to be fulfilled. As established by OSHA,
Yes, yeah,
not by Bill Bundy.
agreed, yes.
And I think what happened when the model, as you say, changed, is that the volunteers who were volunteering were not meeting the requirements of OSHA when it comes to training, qualifications, physicals, things of the like.
Yeah.
The environment that was presented was, and I have all the documentation to show you that, is here's a form to go get your physical. Here's the training that you need to do. Here's the qualifications that you need to follow. Otherwise, you can't respond.
You can't respond.
You can't
Yep.
respond.
Yep.
So I would love nothing more, and I actually stopped myself because I was going to bring, anticipating a question such as this, physical forms, applications for memberships. Please, I mean, this is not a closed shop.
I got
We
it. Okay,
can-
good.
Which is what we've said all along. Up until recently, and I say recently, probably in the fall of last year, I was trying to meet monthly with the volunteer fire chiefs. That came to a screeching halt.
Okay.
And that's because there are no volunteer fire chiefs.
There could be some ego involved too.
I'm
Let's-
sorry?
I said there could be some ego
I'm sure there
involved
is.
too. So
I'm
let's
sure
be
there is.
honest, right? So
I'm
I
sure
mean, that
there
very
is.
well could be too. So where I'm kind of going is, how many positions are you actually asking for again? Just remind.
6.
6. Okay.
6 would bring us from 12 to 18, giving us the ability to staff 2, 2, and 2.
Okay. So I clearly, you know, we're a small community, we know everybody. I know a lot of fire guys, both paid career and volunteer. I try to gather a lot of information because this is a really gnarly type of situation. There's a lot of things going on. So and I don't know everything, right? So I ask a lot of questions so that I have knowledge when I'm making decisions. So please don't be offended, please.
By no means, first of all, I'm not nervous, nor am I
good.
offended.
Oh,
By-
good.
be- And
Very
I'm
good.
glad that this conversation is finally happening.
Yes, and it
in an
needs to
open
happen.
forum.
It absolutely needs to happen, right? Because then that limits and minimizes hearsay and social media and all those types of things, okay? So I'm 100%, let's just have a conversation. I have a lot of friends out network, right, outside of town, right? So I ask a lot of questions like, what do your schedules look like? What can we do to encompass a really good solution here that isn't going to be a huge tax burden on community members? I want to try to find a balance, okay? Not just with your department, with our entire department, because when the budget came in front of us, now we're looking at a huge increase, okay? I've already said publicly, not looking at to rob Peter to pay Paul. I don't value one department over the other. At the end of the day, I just want to have a good budget that is absorbable, that isn't going to hurt our community members with a modest increase. So when I look at 6, okay, I'll use the police department. I don't think they'll mind. He wants 4. I think to myself, oh my God, can we actually swing that, okay? Because I'm also thinking about years ahead of where our increases are going to be and what the demands are going to be, and then what those budgets and mill increase is going to look like on our community members. There's a lot going on in decisions. And I think to myself, well, you know, I know he wants 4. I can meet you halfway in support, right? You want 6. What can I'm only one person. What can I actually meet you with, right? I ask other people, what do you do with your schedules? Rotation is key, I keep getting from lots of people. Rotation is key. Part-timers, right? Moving your part-times around to meet where your highest volume is. That's why I'm asking those types of questions, right? I don't believe that I can support 6, you know, and that's just straight out of the gate. We have a lot of discussion to happen, and I am open to pretty much everything. I really am, okay? And utmost, I want everybody to have a department that we're all proud of, okay? So I want to get into part-timers versus volunteer, utilizing your schedules to meet the volumes where they need to be at certain times, and being flexible. Because the truth is I can't support 6. But through discussions, maybe we can do something else. Okay. Have you looked at those things with your schedules? I'm assuming that you have. That's part of your job, and I'm sure you do it well. But I feel like more effort needs to go there. I'm also going to go to the contracts and the scheduling, because I think that that's going to be key too. I can't talk about negotiations, but I did recognize that Kelly Day and the overtime that goes into that, and that's unsustainable. It's just simply unsustainable.
I'm not
can't do it.
disagreeing with you on
Yeah.
that.
So work needs to get done there, and I think that's all I have for now. Thank you.
Can I ask a question? Maybe this is a Dan question. I see that you, Chief Bundy, requested $1.6 million for the 2027 budget. And then, Dan, you responded with $1.5 million, approximately, for a difference of about $114,000, $115,000.
What line are you,
I don't know what you're talking about.
So I'm looking at the fire service budget,
okay.
down at the 51620 line,
5.
Union
Okay.
firefighters.
Union firefighters,
Union
yes.
firefighters.
So that one's, you know, big driver of increase.
Yeah.
Chief Bundy, according to this, asked for $1,637,000, and then looks like you came back with 1,522,000. So I'm just wondering,
The difference is moving 3 firefighters, so there's still 6 in the budget, 3 July 1st, 3 January 1st.
okay,
Staggering
So it's
the,
a 4.5 full-time equivalent in the budget.
So-
The 1,637,000 is the equivalent, would be 6 full-time firefighters starting July 1. The 1,522,000, or 1,522,000 is 3 firefighters July 1st, wait 6 months, and then hire the second tranche of 3.
so
it's like 4.5.
it's
Yep.
delaying capacity, not
Correct.
increasing or decreasing.
Yep.
It's staggering the intake of 6.
And if we're able to save, you know, what is that, 10%?
So so it saves it in this budget, just so everyone knows, right?
Yep.
So what happened, let me just go a couple slides down, just so I just want this, on the record, so next year.
Yeah, you're anticipating my question.
One, you know, you still have to absorb the other 1.5 full-time
Right.
folks for budget. So this is the chief's proposal, the initial proposal, 18 firefighters. These 6 firefighters, the new guys, would start, or new firefighters, labeling, 7/1 hire dates. You can see here all 7/1. So they're getting base salary plus the holidays. They're about 81.5 starting out. Dan's is the next slide down. So essentially, we carved out the 3 new firefighters. Still start July 1st. The second tranche starts 1/1/27, or about, whatever the first day of the new fiscal year is, or not fiscal year, calendar year. But that spreads out, so instead of 81.5 per firefighter, it drops it to 43.2,
Yeah, got it.
right?
But that's not all they're getting ever. That's just.
Correct, that's just from,
that portion of the
in
year.
this budget, and then next budget,
You pick
right,
up
you have
all
to
of it.
absorb the additional difference between the 81.5 and the 43 for those 3 firefighters, right? So you're shifting the burden from one fiscal year to 2 fiscal years. You're doing 4.5 this year, and then next year 1.5 additional without adding any more bodies. Does that make sense?
You're
We do this
delaying
with
the
the
impact.
police too. The police, same model. The police have 1 in January, 1 in July as well.
Well, it's
Additional
delaying the financial.
Impact, yeah, spreading it over 2.
Right.
So you're
fiscal
baking it
years.
into the next year's budget.
Yeah, but you're gonna get hit either way,
Yeah, it just takes 2 years to absorb the full cost,
right?
right? So,
Yep.
So I just want to share that, so.
Yeah, no, appreciate that. Good question.
Are you done, Jason?
For now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, so you said that, let me just see, you have 2 at HQ, 2 firefighters at Flanders, and then as you said you fill with part-time. So part-timers, do the full-timers have first right of refusal? Do you offer it to them and then they can take that other
And
position, or how does that work?
That's a great question. And again, I don't have the contract in front of me, because there is a provision in there with certain shifts that we have the ability to offer open shifts to the part-timers first. And absent anyone taking it, then it goes to a full-time firefighter.
So you have.
There's
wait.
also, like with Station 2, that we've staffed that with the part-timers first. Because we already have 2 firefighters in headquarters, 2 firefighters in Flanders. So the part-timers, we're trying to put on the outlier station out there. Today's a perfect example. We had a part-timer working today, 8 to 4. He was assigned at Station 2, which is the Rocky Neck station. He ended up covering at headquarters because we had a vacancy there, so we didn't bring anybody in on an overtime.
Okay.
So we do have the ability to do things like that when the contract allows for it. In this particular case, it did.
Okay.
So let me ask,
So, wait,
forgive me.
one more quick question, and then, all right. So when you're talking part-timers, I guess I'm getting confused. So you have your full-time firefighters, right? Your part-time are not volunteer,
No, they're not.
correct? Okay. So
They
when
used to
you,
be, see, and this is
And
gonna
then
go
they
back
used
one
to
of your
be, but
points.
they're no
They
longer.
used to be,
Okay.
and that was creating issues with Department of Labor because it came down to volunteering for your employer, and there was a ruling. So before you did have volunteers, quote unquote, who
Okay.
were also working part-time, and in some cases making an extreme amount of money calling themselves volunteers.
Okay,
And then the ruling came out that you couldn't do that.
okay.
So we had a number of those volunteers stop volunteering and became working in a part-time capacity.
When they're working in part-time, can you define what that means? Like how many hours or how many shifts or like how does that, or the,
Well, they could work a 12-hour shift, they could work a 24-hour shift, depending on where the opening is. Like for today, Station 2 was 8 to 4. I believe it was 8 to 4, right?
Yes, we pulled down here early 7.
Yep, okay. So they would work 8 to 4 but then there's also a second shift, if you would, that goes 4 to 10. So in some cases, and perfect example, firefighter Don over there, in some cases will work 8 to 10. So he'll work a, 12, 14-hour shift as in a part-time capacity, staffing the outlying station. In today's instance, we used him at headquarters, so we didn't call somebody in on overtime.
okay, so you're
There's no
not though, I just want to make sure I got this clear. You're not saying a full-time is sometimes a part-timer?
No.
Okay.
No, we're not.
So then my next question is, when you have the part-timers, is there a limit to how many shifts per week they
I
can do?
believe there, and this is for, maybe, and Kevin can help me on this, I think that there's an average number of hours over so many weeks that can't exceed, is it 29 or 30 hours?
The 20, yeah, 30, but taking our
Yeah,
28.
so they could work up to 30 hours or 29 hours and not go over, because then it puts them in a different category that they're eligible for
Benefits.
benefits and whatnot.
Okay,
Right.
all right.
That's the trigger.
And how many part-timers do you have?
Right now, one.
Just one?
Just one.
Okay, all right. That's, okay. No,
Is that resolved in the budget at that 18,000 line?
Well, we were using, we had budgeted in last year
Yeah,
more than
$250,000.
that. Correct, because we had more part-timers then.
Okay,
We're going from a $250,000 to 20 grand?
Because with the addition of adding 6 more,
Okay.
we would have the ability to drop the need for part-timers, or not have the availability to offer as many shifts.
But if you were to utilize part-timers with split shifts and rotate, wouldn't you be saving money?
I don't understand that.
If you
how
were
so?
to utilize part-timers instead of full-timers on split shifts
But-
and rotations to meet your highest volume in either of the buildings, which I'm sure that data would provide, wouldn't we be saving money?
I don't believe the collective bargaining agreement would allow us to do that, because their contract says that they work a 24/48, so
It
I'm not
does
sure.
now.
Huh?
It does now,
It does now, correct.
right?
So I don't know how I would have the ability, without violating the contract, of splitting somebody's shift.
Okay, so let me throw this one out. So the Kelly Day, that's a Saturday, correct?
That's correct.
With no coverage? Is that accurate, yes or
With
no?
What do you mean by no coverage?
Does it have a full-timer staffed on it?
Yeah, because if they wouldn't, if we had part-timers to cover that. But I can't make a part-timer work Saturday.
But if you hired a part-timer to cover it, then that would be their shift, correct?
And this is
There's
a great
contractual-
point.
Well,
but
this is what I'm trying to get
Yeah,
at, and again, please do not sweat my questions.
I'm trying to
just
formulate the
I'm
answer to
really
that.
like you can either be part of the problem or you can be part of the solution.
Right.
And right now, I love our department, I love our town, we need public safety, right?
Right.
But not on the backs of every single community member. And you're not the only, it's not the only department that I'm talking like this to.
Right.
I'm trying to get to a budget that is absorbable, that people can handle, and that they are proud of. So when I'm asking you questions, I'm also thinking in my professional mind, like, what do I do at work? Who am I calling, okay? If I can't get a person to come into work, I'm going in. I'm gonna fill it. And I asked you the last time, if you don't have somebody to cover your shift, are you going in? Are you covering?
I'm not allowed to.
I understand,
I'm not allowed to,
and I
otherwise
know
I
that.
would because of the.
Absolutely, yes,
right.
and I remember that, and I'm aware of that. So my questions are revolving. You asked for 6 positions, correct?
Correct.
Dan, did you reduce those numbers by anything? Did you say, no, I cannot give you 6, I'm going to give you possibly 3? Or did you leave it at the 6?
You asking me?
Yes, I am.
I wanted the 6.
You want the 6, okay.
Yeah.
How are we going to pay for the 6?
So,
Because my thoughts are, can we get a little bit ahead with part-timers and rotate these schedules, okay? If you don't have anybody on a certain shift that's costing us an just absorbent amount of money, because it's millions of dollars in overtime.
so
You
there's,
fill it with a part-time position.
If I may, I'm trying to understand the question, so, and you bring up two, I think if I understand it correctly, there's two different points that are there, one being the overtime. Saturday is a huge overtime burden. But that's not the only place that overtime is hurting right now. And that's why I brought up the whole part of, I have two firefighters on military deployment. There's those shifts that I can't, there's no way to not cover those shifts. The part about the part-timers, and I'm trying to understand and formulate the answer to, I have a folder on my desktop that's got 21 or 22 applications for part-time firefighters, because we are constantly advertising for part-time firefighters.
Okay.
And of those 20, we'll call it 20, there's one applicant that meets all the requirements for an interview.
Okay.
And because of a union labor issue, I can't do that.
Okay.
So we keep saying about the part-timers. I'll hire all 20 of them. And I've had this conversation with Mr. Gervais. We now have to outfit them. If they don't have the certifications, we have to pay for their certifications, which is going to take time. We're looking at 6 months minimum before they would be ready to go on the floor and be operating by themselves. And to your point, our opening is Saturday. And I'm going to go, Johnny, I'm scheduling you for Saturday. I can't do that. I'm not working Saturday. I have plans with my family. There's no leverage to make them work any shift, regardless of whether it's Saturday or not, because they are part-time. So we can invest all that time, all that money, all that effort, and there's still no guarantee we can utilize that person to fill an open shift
Understood.
6 months down the road. So I understand, and I'm in 100% agreement with you on we need to figure out what we're going to do with Saturday. Because Saturday is our budget breaker right there. There's no way around it. The thought of we hire additional people, so now you have 6. And granted, I understand, I believe it was when I first came here, we sat down, and I say we, as the town, sat down and came up with a plan of where do we want to, we came up with a 5 or 7 year plan of how we wanted to implement it. 18 has always been the targeted number because, and again, by NFPA standards, you need a minimum of 2 in, 2 out. And I know I said this last year. 2 in, 2 out at any emergency scene. If you're going to put 6, 2, 2, and 2, somebody books off sick, there's nothing in the contract that says you have to fill that position. There's an initial cost up front to get to those 6 or those 18 to cover the town in a 2-2 capacity, 2-2 and 2 capacity. But this has always been the plan to try to get there, like you, and I agree with you 100% about trying to get there in increments. We're at a point now where, and I said this to Mr. Cunningham, how do you want me to do this? I have 16 holes, and I only have 8 plugs. So it's like, going back to your original.
Yeah.
I would love nothing more than to have a line of volunteers at my door going, hey, Bill, where's the physicals? Come on back.
Got it.
100%. But
Yeah, I think that there's some work that can be done there. I'm going
I
to be
agree.
honest with you, because
agree.
the truth is Our town is relationship-based, 150% across the board, okay? We have more volunteers in this town, all right, that do and do and do. It's almost as though I could say that we're almost run on volunteerism, to be honest with you. So I also recognize that there is a very large decrease, okay, across the state, across the nation with fire service, okay? Generationally, people are, it's almost as though you need a fire or need somebody to get them to do things at certain points. But our town, relationship-based, we got a lot of volunteer. I noted the ego because I think it's a big thing, okay? I do. I think it's a big thing, and that's all I'm going to say on it. I've listened to people make comments about ripping the Band-Aid off so many times, I'm almost spinning about it. Rip the Band-Aid off, rip the Band-Aid off, the financial Band-Aid. I feel like I'm running around trying to plug up hemorrhages of money. And part of that is in this department. So, you say no on part-timers. What about going a little bit above part-time, but not quite full-time? So in my world, we have 80% positions.
You pick up all the benefits.
You pick up all the benefits.
So that's the problem.
Okay,
If you go over that 28 hours,
right.
now the marginal increase is significant. That's that problem.
Okay.
You had asked a question, and I want to interrupt that.
I got it, yeah.
You asked whose idea was it to have 6?
No, I didn't ask whose idea
Oh.
was it. I said,
asked if
I
I
asked the
had.
question because he had come forward with 6, and I asked if you had made a reduction yet, because in the police department, you did. He requested 4, and you reduced to 2. So I asked publicly if you have made a reduction as of yet. That was my question.
So the reason, my initial thought was for 6 firefighters. It has to do with the interrelationship with the overtime budget. And if you must have 4 firefighters on a shift, and you have 6 firefighters on a shift, if one calls out, one of those other 2 firefighters can backfill that shift, and you're not paying overtime. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So potentially having 6 firefighters would have the effect of reducing your overtime budget liability.
Well, so when renegotiating the contract,
Well, we have to live under the contract that we
understood.
have, yeah. So, so by having 6, if someone calls out, then you can backfill that position with a firefighter that isn't getting overtime. There is a cost to having 6 versus 3. And yes, ultimately, it does cost more to have 18 firefighters than it would cost to have 15 firefighters. But you're getting more value for your money because you're getting 2 and 2 firefighters at each station, 24/7, 365. And you've actually reduced somewhat your potential overtime cost. So if you went down to let's say we only added 3 firefighters for a total of 15, right? Your overtime budget is going to go up because there are going to be people that are out and you can't backfill it with the extra 3. And so it'll increase, whatever degree, it's hard to predict, your overtime budget. But if you had the 18, then there's a much greater probability that you will not spend as much on overtime. And so the community is getting a better value for the money that they are spending. They're getting 6 firefighters all the time, rather than 15 all the time, and somewhat higher overtime liability. Does that make sense? It's value-based.
I'm following you.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Can I ask a
I
question?
have one more thing before you go. So we man 3. What if we were to man 2? You've got an ambulance running out of one, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Actually, we have ambulances running out of 2 of them, one in Flanders and one at Rocky Neck.
Okay.
I think what needs to be thought of is that there needs to be a fire presence at Rocky Neck because of the lease agreement with the state. We do not own that building.
Got it. Okay. So that's
So
A
when
question.
when you
Yeah.
say that you need a presence, do you need somebody there then, I forgot what
We have
time
apparatus
was.
there, and we do quote-unquote staff it as we can.
Okay, and that's pursuant to the state?
So
You
We have
I
a
said-
believe
lease.
that's the way the lease
Yeah,
is.
we have
I've
a
never-
lease.
Although I've never seen it. So I think, and again, correct me if I'm wrong. If you're saying if we were doing 2 and we did not staff Station 2, we still have 4, then I don't know how that would affect, first of all, that lease. And then I go back to what I said earlier about the highlights. When that ambulance is out, and another call, which historically would happen, comes in that district, there's no ambulance there, so that's where the R1, that like, I'm sure, I didn't hear the call, but I'm sure that's what these guys are going to, is something to supplement and be a first responder, so,
Okay.
the thought would be, that was the coverage, that model, as you said, that we've always had, that we had coverage throughout the town.
right, but it
And
was
that-
just set up differently, and you had the ambulance fund, and you had the
Correct,
volunteers, and
Right.
it was absolutely much different.
Correct.
It was much different.
Correct.
So that's why I'm kind of honing in on
Right.
what kind of call volume you're having, how much you're going to the prison, what you're actually in need of,
Right.
because the truth is all of these things need to be spoken to and actually talked about, right? And if they're not, then people are assuming, well, you're not asking the questions, and you're not going, well, what about this and what about that? Those things
I'm-
have to be looked at,
I'm all
okay?
for having
Yeah.
that conversation
Yeah.
because, quite honestly, I believe that the town would be better served if we looked at the status of where we are and how we can do it better
Yeah.
based on this. And I know Mr. Gervais brought this up once before at one of the other presentations. The town paid for a study that was done that made recommendations such as that.
Okay.
And I'm all for exploring that, and to some degree, some of the things that I'm trying to implement are taken from that.
From that.
So
Smart.
I'm with you 100% on try to do things a lot smarter and more financially prudent
Right.
for the town.
I got it. Thank you. I yield.
So, just for clarification, you say you have one part-timer, so when you say that, that's one who's been basically certified, has his physicals, his qualifications,
Correct.
you've outfitted him,
Correct.
and he is good to go,
He's
so
good
when
to go.
he's has free time or whatever, notifies you, he can do a shift.
What he does is he gives us his availability. Usually we fill it out a month at a time. He'll say during the week of this, I can work this shift, and it's all, we have a cloud-based scheduling program. He'll go in and put himself in, I'm available for here, and he gets put on a shift.
And how does, I don't know if Kevin knows this or who does, how does he get paid? Do you, like, compared to, like,
Put him on time sheet,
full-timers?
regular, like, we put him at the, when we do payroll on Monday, we add him to the payroll.
And he gets the same salary as your full-timers?
No, he gets the part-time rate, whatever,
Okay.
and I don't know what
Whatever
that
that
is.
is,
off the top,
okay,
Whatever that is.
all right. And, let me see. I had another question, but it will come back to me in a minute.
Chief.
Will let Jason go while you're...
Oh, one more, yeah. Kelly Day, is that every Saturday?
Every Saturday.
Okay, that's what I
Every
wanted to
Saturday.
know.
Hey.
And Sunday is just part of your regular work week?
Sunday starts the new work week, so it's day 1 for the work week, so
So your work week basically goes Sunday to Friday, and
Sunday,
then,
well, technically it goes Sunday to Saturday, but they don't work Saturday.
so the Kelly Day, they're paid at time and a half, or just regular, or what are people?
The way the contract reads is that if they're off and they volunteer to work, they get paid time and a half. Anybody who, if the shifts are open and we have to order somebody in, anybody who's ordered in will get paid double time.
And that's where the killer is.
Okay,
I don't
wait,
blame
can you
you.
repeat
I
that
don't
again?
blame
Sorry,
you.
hang on one
I said that,
second. You said if they're off and they volunteer to work, they're paid time and a half, And then, what was the other thing you just said?
If nobody volunteers to work, including full-time, part-time, and we have to order someone in to cover those shifts, it's paid double time.
Right.
I'm
That's-
sorry.
No, that's where the real killer is, right? And I don't blame
Yeah, that's
anybody if
what I
they're
was
not
trying to
already
figure out.
scheduled and I'm gonna make a double time and a half. Yeah, order me in, I get it.
Right.
But that's where I was kind of saying, like, if you can fill that with a part-time position where you're rotating or even creating groups of people,
Right.
right? That kind
And
of
we were
offset.
doing that at the beginning of the whole, when the contract was first signed, we had a few more part-timers at that point, and they were taking a 12-hour shift. They would, whatever, the morning or and so we had the ability to do that. But, and I say the but is, a couple of those part-timers got other jobs, other employment, and they stopped working.
Right, and
So-
I understand
yeah, so-
that.
so-
Yeah, so retention is an issue
Retention
too,
is the
for
issue,
sure, and I
exactly.
get it, and
Exactly.
I hear you. Kind of going back to the whole part-timer thing, so there is a cost that is associated with making sure that in not just this field, but other fields, right? So that you are up to par in order to work and meet all regulations that are supposed to be met. So we very well may have to endure that cost, but I kind of feel like that in that small investment is still going to save us money if we were to utilize it. That's kind of how I feel. Before this change, volunteers, and correct me if I'm wrong, right, because I don't know everything, they still needed to be up to code. They needed to be up to regulation. So that was paid for, but did that come out of the ambulance fund? Because there were certain things that the ambulance fund paid for,
No,
and
no,
I'm
I
just...
don't believe that's
So
the
they
case.
did not.
Going back several budgets when I first got here, the volunteer departments had their own, they did their own budgets. and part
It's
of that was-
confusing, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
somebody within their department, a volunteer in their department, if they were gonna go to firefighter 2 or an EMT class, they, I believe, had their own training budget that they would take it out of.
Okay.
So, I don't know if that answered the,
It kind of does. If we were to go the part-time route and invest in the money to, right, get everybody up to par, because that's what you were saying, right? And then kind of link that into, okay, well, we have gotten you here. You are under a certain amount of regulation to work for us for a certain amount of time, right? I
Which
think
we
that
do.
that would be fair.
which we do.
Okay, okay.
But it gets back to, and again, I've had this with Kevin, when they say no, we have no leverage. So, we can train them up. And again, I have, like I said, 20, I believe it's 20 applicants. I've got people who are applying for the position from out of state, because it's all through Indeed.
So
that-
people want them. They want the
But have
positions.
zero experience, zero certifications. So to bring them in to be a firefighter, the minimum qualifications to be a part-time firefighter is you need to be firefighter 1 and an EMT.
Okay.
Firefighter 1, 16-week class. EMT, you're talking the better part of a year before they're even going to be eligible to start working. So we can put that money up front, we can outfit them, and we're still not seeing any return on that. And there's no guarantee, again, and I'm all for hiring them, trust me, I'll do it tomorrow, but there's no guarantee. What's the return on that investment? We're not addressing.
Right, but wouldn't we be able to put a requirement in there as far as working for us for so long?
I guess that would be, that would be a
it would
question for the town attorney, if we can mandate somebody part-time that this is their shift, and then when they say, no, I'm not gonna work Saturday, well, it's been said, we'll fire them. Okay,
Well,
we fire them, so
well,
we're
they-
back to square one.
So let me go back to, okay, if you're hired for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? There are those types of positions, right?
Right.
So you are being hired for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That means you have no option, and that's what you work. It is what it is.
Right.
Right? I mean, that's not just career firefighters, that's in lots of different careers, that you have part-timers officers that are hired for weekends. You have part-timers, 6 to 9:30 in the morning to meet the level of need for whatever it is that you're looking for. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting out publicly, there's other options, okay, other than 6 full-time additional firefighters, okay? I think that there are other options that we can look at to try to kind of gain something here, but maybe not 6 positions all at one time. And then I will yield for someone else.
Okay, thank you.
Hi. I see some things in the numbers here, and I feel like there's a strategy that's being put forward. I'm not entirely clear what the strategy is, so maybe you guys could walk me through it. So once maybe I understand the strategy, we could talk about altering it later when we deliberate. So the addition of 6, that comes at a reduction of the part-time employees down from the 232,000 to 18. That effectively just wipes out the part-time firefighting service, correct? Except for one guy.
I don't know, not entirely,
Not
but it
entirely.
reduces it significantly,
Okay.
yes.
Now, the overtime budget increases from about 500,000 to 700,000 plus. What is the intended goal of that? Is that just because we're spending so much on overtime that now we want to budget for it and that is accounted for here?
Well, I think in the conversations that I've had with Kevin, it goes back to shifts I have no option, no ability to deviate from, but to fill. And we could set, as we did last year, a number, $232,000, and that's blown out
Yeah, we're just gonna blow through it.
because
Okay.
because
So
of circumstance.
That's my question, is
Right.
this is
So
reflecting reality.
I think this
Okay.
reflects the reality of,
Okay.
of what we're filling.
I wasn't sure if it was reflecting what happened already or if this is like some kind of push.
Projection.
Yeah, projection or just idea. Okay, now, if we hypothetically add the 6 people and we can renegotiate to that
Other
format
schedule.
that the
Yep.
other firefighters were interested in previously,
The 72.
yes.
24/7.
Would that
is that
eliminate-
accurate?
2472.
Okay.
Would that eliminate the Kelly Day?
I think that's still contractual. I think we would still have to, because the language is baked into the collective bargaining, and that you would have to, give me a moment. The way the contract reads, it defines what the work week is, quote unquote, and what the day that they don't work. And so in changing the language, I believe it would be subjected to contract negotiations if you're going to change that 2448 to a 2472,
Yeah.
then you would also have to address language regarding Saturday.
So you can't answer that, right? Okay.
I don't believe it gives me the ability to say yes or no, because
No,
I
it
think we're
doesn't.
locked into the
Yep.
language,
For now, yes.
yeah, of the current contract.
Okay, so the reason I was asking is if we do add 6 and we can avoid a Kelly Day, that could be, over the course of a year, a cost savings.
Right,
Okay.
Yes.
That's not,
because again, I think in doing so, you can still establish, you're increasing your coverage. Now, look at it in the terms of, by doing so, you're increasing your coverage 24/7. You've got a fully staffed station that's otherwise not, but you also have the ability that when you have an injury, a deployment, a sick day, or vacation day, that you don't necessarily have to fill that person right out of the chute, because you now still have 5 instead of 4. You haven't dropped down to the minimum, which is 4. So theoretically, I think on the surface, it would save overtime, because whenever somebody takes that day off, you don't automatically have to fill it. But again, to your point, it still leaves Saturday as your wild card.
so maybe this is for Dan, the Kelly Day is basically contractual, so even if they change it to 2472, it's still in the contract, and that would be something that would have to go through negotiation.
It's
in
baked
order
into the
to change it.
contract right now.
That's what I thought,
And-
okay.
And whether or not they'd be willing to give that up, that's a matter of negotiations, and I don't really want to.
Yeah, no,
Comment
and
on
I
it.
understand that, and I don't even want to ask that. Okay, so one other quick question. So getting back to the Kelly Day one more time. If somebody is off, they volunteer to work, they're paid time and a half, that I understand. If no one volunteers to work, so you put it out there and say, okay, does anybody want to work this Saturday, right? And if everybody says, yeah, no, I don't want to work, then you call somebody and say, I'm calling you in?
You get ordered in, and
You
then
get ordered in.
we have an ordering list.
Okay, and do you do it in order? Because people are getting paid double time for that.
It's
Double time and a half.
double, no, not
No,
double time.
double
like
time,
double time.
double time.
Okay,
Just
Double
double
time,
double
yeah.
time.
So what I'm saying
Don't
is, do you
suggest
have,
that.
yeah, literally,
No.
please.
Just that.
okay.
Then do you go down the list and say,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
we're
gonna
gonna
be
start
like
with this
you
one,
got
start with
ordered
that?
in last Saturday, you got ordered in last Saturday, you go to the bottom of the list. and
Okay, that's
we'll
what
go
I
to
was
Dan, and
asking,
then-
exactly.
and
There's
then
a
in
process.
case-
Yeah, no,
we have a
that's what
process
I
that we
wanted to
follow,
know.
correct.
To
Okay.
be fair.
Yeah, exactly, that's what I was just trying to understand.
Let me
Okay.
point this out. We've got 8 firemen right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're ordering 4 every Saturday, that's a quick turnaround.
Mm.
Because we only have
Right.
8 on the road, on the floor right now.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see those numbers for the exact, for the Kelly Day, Saturday, how much it's actually cost us.
Well, I
Also,
think Kevin
Yeah,
can
he can
give
tell
you
you
that,
that.
probably.
I just pointed at him and asked him for it.
Oh, okay, I thought you were pointing at him.
So additionally, if you were to take one offline until we try to get maybe this in control, it feels like it's just a siphon of money, to be
When you
honest with
say
you.
take one offline, I don't.
Yeah.
Take
Well-
one, you don't understand? Okay,
No.
so we've got 3 firehouses, so you take one offline.
Oh, the firehouse, you mean?
Yeah,
Well, theoretically,
There's only 2.
we're not staffing Station 2 on Saturdays as it is. so-
okay, so you're not? Oh,
No,
okay,
no.
so you could continue
Because that's
to
a
not do
part-time,
that?
that's a part-time, it would be part-time position, and and I'm gonna use Don, if Don doesn't sign up for it, then we don't have anybody else. I'm not paying a full-timer to staff Station 2.
Okay. Good to know.
All right, so, another question. You said you have 2 firefighters out on military leave. You said you had one out on comp? Is that what you said?
Workers' compensation,
Okay, and what's the other one?
FMLA.
And when is the FMLA supposed to come back? Do you know
I
that?
have no idea.
No idea. Okay, so let's just say hypothetically, you get 6 new firefighters. Then you have these other 4 come back. Haven't we kind of overstaffed the firefighters?
We
When
put,
firefighters are out, we're not hiring more firefighters. So like when we have a core of 12 right now, 4 are out, we only have 8 to work with.
Okay.
So that kind of exacerbates the overtime problem.
No, I
That makes
understand
sense.
that, but let's say you hire 6, right?
Yep,
And these other 4, eventually they're all gonna come back.
okay.
So then don't you have a problem of being like
Then
overstaffed?
you have 6 on a shift.
you have 6 on shift, and now you have
2,
full
2,
coverage throughout the town. You've increased
Oh,
your
so
staffing.
you're saying then you would
In
staff
staff Station 2.
Station 2.
Station 2?
Correct.
Okay, that's, all right,
Correct.
got it.
And that's
Okay,
why I was saying, there's a value part of this that, you're getting a bigger bang for your buck if you hire the 6 and have 18, because you're reducing, to a degree, your overtime costs, but you're getting the benefit of 2 firefighters in each station round the clock. So I'm not saying it would cost less, but I'm saying for the money you are spending, you're getting the greatest value for the taxpayer's dollar to have the total of 18. So you're getting 6 per shift, 24/7.
I'd also like, when you talk about, you use the term overstaffing. Currently, there's 4 responding. We have 4 firefighters in town at any
Okay.
given moment. And given what the volume of the calls that we have, and granted, the majority of them are EMS calls, but there are those, it'll never happen here, calls that we do get.
Sure.
You get
Yeah.
the wrecks up on the highway.
Sure.
Yeah. no.
You,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
you know, recently in towns very close to us, you've got apartment fires where they're rescuing people out of windows.
Yeah.
You've got, we actually sent people to the train derailment up in Mansfield. So now I offer that here for just for thought. You have the train derailment here. That Acela runs north and southbound, how many times a day? It jumps the track here. You have 4 people that are gonna mitigate that problem.
Well, we would have we've had other
How long for
towns
them
help.
to get here? And you're absolutely
to-
right.
It's a mutual aid.
But to
we would
what,
have
talking about.
what extent and
Understood,
how
though.
long are
I'm
you
following
going to
you.
wait for them to get here?
Sure.
You get a fire. We do get structure fires here.
Yeah, no, I know.
A fire will double its size every minute unattended. And when you're now, with all the construction and all the housing that's going up here, 4 guys.
Yeah,
How long
I
do you want to
mean,
wait for mutual aid?
Yeah, I 100% hear you, and
Yeah.
I can meet you there. I get it,
So-
but I also get that we had some pretty significant fires in the recent history here, and we had mutual aid without even an issue. It was
No,
not even an
getting
issue.
them is
So
not the issue.
we definitely had responses without even a question. So I just want to be very clear and on the record for that. Can you give me those numbers that you just said that you have?
565.
What was that number again? For what was it?
Yep, so right now the overtime line is 706,000, just,
Yep.
give or take $100. So we are not staffing for any military leave overages, we're staffing for a slight storm coverage, and we're staffing for Saturdays. We're also not staffing the 300,000 projected for all the time off.
Right.
So overtime should be about $1 million if we were staffing everything, but the idea is with the additional staffing, we will not have to fill that 5th and 6th spot with a minimum manning of 4. So that's about a $300,000 savings right
Okay.
there. Does that make sense for everybody?
It does, but
It
that's not
does.
expressed here. It just looks like it's going up.
Right, so that's why I asked.
Yeah, you gotta dig in the numbers a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Flat here.
exactly, yeah.
So there's a savings associated with more numbers.
So we saved that 295,000, the 294, 524 right there says do not fill
Yep.
overtime.
And that's, the point I was trying to make, and maybe I didn't do it very well, but not that it won't cost more, but you're getting greater value for the money that you are spending. Rather than having, more of it going to overtime, you're getting more people on staff, on scene at any given time. That's-
Yeah, no,
that's all.
I'm hearing you, okay? I'm hearing you. The amount of money is astronomical, okay, with this transition. And the truth of the matter is I can't go backwards. I wish I could. I really do. And I can't. I think that, Dan, when this started, if you had come publicly and spoken about the true cost that it was going to be to move into this type of model for East Lyme, I think that we would be in a very different spot. Okay? I am conservative on a lot of different things. My own budget, okay? I'm careful with what I do, what I know what my needs are, my wants are, what I can get done this year, what I can put off till next year, okay? And I do not live beyond my means, and I am not going to be asking other people to be doing that either, okay? I'm trying to find a solution.
No, I
And I want to put out that I think that it is worth having a collective conversation with people, volunteers, that I do believe if we can get past some ego, okay? You and you, Mr. Cunningham, and maybe me, I can help people along, okay? To try to find a solution that works best here for East Lyme. All right, because millions and millions of dollars, it's really hard pressed. And I fully understand that I could sit here and be quiet. I really could. This is what I could be. Here you go. And send it over to the Board of Finance, but I can't do it. It is literally irresponsible, okay? I am really trying to balance and understand why I watched the first selectman stand up at the Board of Education's budget and basically say to them that their budget is unsustainable, okay?
That's nice.
And then you put this in front of us with no reduction in this department, okay? So that tells me something.
Okay.
And again, I could be quiet, I'm just choosing not to.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
can I?
Yeah, of course.
So I guess what I would want to see, and I guess this is really from Kevin, is like for a firefighter, you hire them, you have their salary, but then in addition to that, you've got, and I don't know all of it, but you've got benefits, uniforms, education, training, qualifications. Like, what is the actual cost of hiring a firefighter? Do you know what I mean?
I do.
So that we can figure that out and then compare that to what it would be, let's say we went to 3 firefighters. What is the cost of that compared to what your overtime would be? And then what would it be if it was 2? Like, we kind of want to see the numbers just so we can do it, because
Are you
I
asking for
feel,
full-time status? And if you are just asking for full-time, I'd like to see part-time too, so.
yeah,
full-time,
I'm asking
part-time.
full-time because I just
Yep.
don't, I have to tell you, I agree with you. I don't think that it's sustainable. I'm not saying that, you know, my husband says I probably use you guys more than anybody in town, but I just feel like the taxpayer can't afford it. And so what I want to try to do is compare what it would be to hire, I don't know, whatever number of firemen, compare that to what the cost for overtime would be. When I say firemen, I don't mean just salary, I mean everything. So kind of do it like a cost-benefit analysis.
So model it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm not a numbers person at all, so that's why I'm asking Kevin that. So this doesn't really have anything to do with you, this is kind of us, you know me, trying to figure it out. And I, you know, be honest with you, I admire what you do, all of you. I mean, it's amazing, and if I could, I would automatically give you 6. I would give the policemen 4. You know, it's just that, you know, we're not Waterford. We don't have tons of commercial. We don't have it. We just, we don't have that tax base to do it. And, you know, I actually lose sleep over this,
Me too.
believe it or not. And, you know, budget season is very stressful because everybody who stands before me, I really want to be like, yeah, I agree with this. This, we need this. This is, you know, and we can't do it. And that's, you know, and when I say this, it's, you know, I'm being completely honest with you. So, you know, I don't want
appreciate
you to
that.
like hate the messenger, but that's really what it boils down to.
I
And
appreciate
I'm
your
talking to
honesty
all
and
the firemen
candor.
sitting here too. It's not something that, you know, if we had it, we would do it. And that's why, you know, Candace, me, we're trying to see how can we manage this at all. That's what we're trying to do. And how can we say to the town, look, this is what we're gonna do, and this is why we're gonna do it, and this is why your taxes are going up.
I
And what amount.
appreciate all of those comments, and I think as the chief, I would be remiss if I didn't at least say this. And to your point about Waterford, the comparison, we constantly get compared to
We
Waterford
do.
when things like this come up. Waterford is a mutual aid partner. We rely on them quite often to supplement us. And I'm grateful, and I've had great conversations with their leadership over there. With that, Waterford runs between 7 and 9 firefighters per shift.
Yeah,
They have a supplement of volunteers that are active, and I use that term, active. And we run more calls per year than they do.
yeah.
So I understand that, you know, and it's easy to say rip the Band-Aid, the cost of doing business. I get all that, which is why I'm going to tell you as the chief what I think you need to run your service and what it's going to cost.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
agree.
You have to make
Yeah.
those decisions, and I appreciate,
Yeah.
I do appreciate that, you know. I would love nothing more than to spend $1 for a gallon of milk. And I know those days are gone.
Us too, yeah.
So
Exactly.
when you talk about your personal budgets, we have to decide what it is that we're willing to spend.
Exactly.
But I'm going to tell you, as I pointed out, there are 3 families that look at this as a priceless service.
Oh, yeah.
So I understand the taxes and
Yeah.
I get all of that. And
Yeah.
I don't take offense to it. And
Oh, I hope
I'm
not.
all
Please
about
don't.
having those, and I appreciate this, and I'd be willing to offline talk some more about
Oh, good.
how we can do this.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when I first took over, I've always said, we need to do this incrementally.
Mm-hmm.
Come up with a plan, come up with a plan. Well, I'm year 3 into that plan.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, because of the circumstances, well, 6 is where we need to be. 18 is the optimal number for us to run and give you the service that you deserve, your taxpayers, your people, and all of that. I understand if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. So, do you make cuts here, do you make cuts elsewhere? That's not for me to say. So I do appreciate that, and I'm willing to have further conversation. If you look at the rest of my budget, is pretty benign.
Yeah.
I mean, we've tried
I
to
know.
keep everything
We're-
within
Yeah.
reason, because I firmly believe, and I owe it to every one of these firemen and their families, that I can create the safest environment for them while they're doing the job for the town in the most cost-effective way, and make sure that they go home at the end of the day.
Okay. Can you give me those numbers too on the prison, on how much call volume and all those types of things? It would be great, and I appreciate you, sir.
Okay. I do have one more question, though, now that I'm actually looking at the numbers. I see administrative assistant went from 56,700 to 74,194.
Yep, here's the reasoning for that. The old number, that 56, was at that time, last year, we had a different administrative assistant who left that position. The person who filled it was an internal candidate. That was the wage that she was carrying when she came over. So there was the carrying her wage over. So that was the increase. So it wasn't like it was
Understood.
contractual. So
Okay.
it's a union thing.
Yeah,
That's what I
no, that's
figured.
fine. That's why
And
I knew there was
I-
something.
If I would've went line by line, I would've brought that out for you.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
it's just,
Yep.
yeah, it's just a big number, that's all.
Yep,
Let me see what else we have.
yes, sir.
So I had a question about part-time. Does that reduction also reflect reality in the same way that the overtime increase reflects reality?
Well, we only have one part-timer, and I have a part-time fire inspector. So it was kind of like that's the thereabout number of utilizing how many shifts, and the part-time fire inspector that we use once or twice a year. So I think that's more reality, which is why I think if you looked at the 232 from the 26 year,
Yes.
what was the balance that we were carrying over is because we weren't utilizing it. So I
Okay,
think
got it.
that's probably more a realistic number.
Okay.
Okay. So there's there's an emotional core, I think, that has to exist at the center of a fire service because of what you're asking people to do on a routine basis, put their lives on the line. So that emotional core is very strong and very present in this discussion. I've not seen a discussion among this board quite like this. I mean, people are excitedly talking over each other. I mean, I haven't been able to ask this part-time question for like a half hour because we're just
Now's your
Well,
chance.
it's-
so energetic, which is, I mean, I assume this is the way it's supposed to be. I'm assuming the way it has to be. However, I just worry that when there is such a strong emotional reaction and emotional core to the way we make decisions, that it kind of cuts off us from seeing what is a possible option or what is the best possible option. So I would advise us as a group not to deliberate on this evening when we have deliberations, and perhaps take a less emotionally charged aspect like the library or IT. Just because I've not seen us act like this before. It's very interesting. And I also want to put out there, this budget increases by half the personnel, right? We're at 12 and we're increasing by 6, yes?
Correct.
Okay, so in doing so, the budget does go up 20%, or comes in under 20%. But that, to me, seems like like you're saying, a value. Like, yes, this is a big increase, but to increase the size of, I mean, people are what's expensive in a budget. And if we're going to increase it at that level and keep it under 20%, I have to say, it's not an easy pill to swallow, but I would have to commend you guys on being able to do that, to make the numbers work. And the last thing I want to mention is, in terms of volunteer fire service, I'm not a firefighter, I'm a teacher. But last year, when we started going through this budget, it became clear that there was an area of need for volunteerism. So I said, I'm an able-bodied person, I should volunteer. So I went to my local fire hall and I volunteered, and they said, okay, you're in. And I said, okay, cool, what do I do now? And it was radio silence. And
Radio silence.
I called this guy, what happened? Radio silence, I called that guy. I mean, I don't want anyone to feel bad, but I mean, like you're saying, there is a pool of volunteerism that could be accessed. I don't know how much it would offset, a budget when we're looking at numbers this big.
If I may to that point, we don't have, and I say we, the town, my department does not have any oversight, say, as it relates to the volunteer members. But I'm working currently with the town attorney, because there was a question of whether or not you could volunteer for the town. And so we're exploring that as an option to bring back volunteers, not necessarily for any one department, but that they can be a pool to kind of bring into the fold, that they would fall, so we could do all the things that we're talking about here. But currently, there's no mechanism for that. And I know you and I had spoke briefly about that during that time period, which is, we get somebody who's interested in volunteering. I give them the contact information of the volunteer departments. What happens after that, it's out of my hands. And I get, and I got one today, an email. I want to set somebody, I have a friend, you need to go through you're the executive board or the line officers or whoever's in charge of those volunteer companies to do that. But I think, and I'm hopeful that with the conversations that we're having now, that we can come up with some sort of a mechanism so that we can have the East Lyme Volunteer Fire Department.
Yeah.
And again, and you mentioned the word egos. That's the best thing, because one thing that the fire service is built on is tradition. So you're tackling, you're kind of deviating from 100 years of tradition in some cases. And when somebody comes in who's from outside of the club, and you're told, or you're telling them, there's got to be a different way to do things, sometimes that doesn't come across in the best manner. So things don't necessarily progress the way they should. But I'm all for exploring all of those options. You talk about it being an emotional subject. It is an emotional subject, because as you saw earlier, we had, alarm went off, they were running out the door. That's what the town people get. That's what the citizens and your taxpayers, that's, it's why do you call the fire department? Why do you call the fire department? Because they come, regardless of what it is.
You do.
So, and it's easy for me to stand up here and say, well, can you put a price tag on that? I'm not paying it. I get that. But I'm telling you that this is an emotional subject, because you've got people here, and I know people in the volunteer service that want to do this and provide this service.
Yeah.
You just have to figure out amongst yourselves how we can afford to do this in today's economy.
Thank you.
And I don't think,
Yes.
and I don't remember who asked me that, but why did this study come out and show the drastic reduction of volunteering? That's part of it. All of the requirements, all of these things. So you're not alone.
Yeah, no, we're not the only
No,
town
and if
that's,
you
I
can
mean,
figure it out,
we're
let
just
me know.
watching
We'll bottle
Norwich
it,
too.
we'll
There's a
become
lot of this
millionaires.
happening
Right.
for sure. I'm just looking for the right solution and the right model for
Yep.
East Lyme,
Yep.
right? And Jason, you made a comment that you had a part-time question. Are you going to ask it, or did you forget it?
No, I did, I asked it.
Oh, that was it? That was it?
My question was, does the reduction reflect something that
okay.
actually happened, or was it part of an overall idea,
Okay.
budgetary idea?
Oh, good.
And I got my answer.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
So I just passed out, I don't know if it's working or not. That's the recommendations on the executive summary from the fire study. I just passed out as you guys were talking about it, so.
And that study was done when?
Was it 2018? 2017. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone at home that wants to view it, just Google East Lyme Fire Study.
Yeah.
And we dusted it off, and we took a look at it. We started trying to incorporate some of the recommendations from that study that had largely been ignored for so many years. And we're trying to move in the right direction and using that as a suggestion.
Well, just into reference for that, I mean, and again, I'm not an expert in fire service, and but speaking to how deep it goes, right? Because it is community, it is historical, it is something that I think has been really historically going on for decades here in East Lyme, right? So very similar to the elementary school project conversation that took 10, 15 years. Super emotional. And I think that whole entire conversation and transition, I think people were robbed of community conversation and opportunity to sit at the table to try to find a model and a solution that was going to best suit East Lyme versus what we have right now.
And whatever, in the fire service, or what you talking about this?
No,
I'm talking about the transition from volunteer
Oh,
to
okay.
one.
To our current service.
Correct.
Okay.
That's all. Thank you.
Do we have any, do we still have a quorum? 1, 2? Yeah, okay. Bill, thank you.
Any
for
other
being
questions
here.
with the remainder of the budget? I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
No.
Did you see the picture on Facebook today? It was from 1950.
I don't go on Facebook
Oh.
because then they say I get suspended and I'm on that.
No, it was the Nyack Fire Service, and there was some 90, they were fighting, there was a fire outside. But I was surprised to see you in the picture. That was,
Well, I have been doing this for over 40 years. It's quite
I'm surprised that was you standing there, but no, I think that was the original volunteer fire department that was out there in that picture. So.
I want to say this with all sincerity. I truly appreciate this dialogue, and I mean this when I say this. I would be more than happy to sit down one-on-one or as a group collectively to talk about these things, because I firmly believe that we can work in a cohesive manner, and I mean
Me
this
too.
volunteer.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
we can coexist, and I think there's a lot of avenues that can be explored, and having said that, I do believe that you have one of the finest, if top-notch organizations anywhere, based on what I've seen in the last 3 years of being their chief, or being
I agree, 100%.
associated with them. And you're truly fortunate to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My goal is to continue moving them in the right direction. I mean, them being, not only them, but the whole service, because it's not getting any easier. We are, the numbers, as you see, we're only getting busier. Guidelines are getting more stricter and things like that. So if you can find it in your way to do this, I firmly believe that as hard as it is the right decision to make this whole, and then I think you'll see how it works out at that point. So,
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you,
very much.
everyone that's
Thank
here.
you for coming.
Thanks
Thank
for you
you all,
guys.
too.
Thank you for what you
Yeah.
do. Okay, so that was our presentation. And now we're on to, we can actually start the deliberation process.
Let's do it. Unless,
Well, can we take a 5-minute break?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thanks.
We're gonna adjourn for 5 minutes?
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, we're back on the record, and we're now going to start shortly deliberations, but before we do that, Kevin, do you have any recommendations for us as a way we can get a jump start here?
I do, so based on, James, you want to switch this over? You don't do a PID, you just do full screen. Okay. So, as previously mentioned, at last week's budget meeting, the 2019 bonds are actually split between the town, general government, and the water department. In the initial budget, I put them entirely in the general fund. $340,000 of the principal should be moved to the water fund, and then $70,000 on the interest side should also be moved. So, what does that mean?
Is this under what, just so I know where you
Debt
are?
services.
If everyone here, if you want to flip to the very front of the papers, where you have the summary of, the
Yep,
summary.
yep.
And then expenditures, flip to the last page
Bless
of
you.
the expenditures.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Summary.
I'm already there.
You're there,
I know,
okay.
yeah. He talked about it the other night, actually.
Just let me know when you're there, if you need help, I can
No, we're good, I just need to get there.
keep going.
It was at the last page?
Got it, here. Right here, are your expenditures, it should say expenditures up on top.
Revenue, oh,
No,
okay,
you-
good.
to your- No, the very, very front of your book.
Okay.
Keep going, okay. Hold on, what's that? I think that's
Yeah,
your
I
little.
think that's something else.
Yeah, so that should start saying expenditures.
So the revenues, what are you looking at to get the expenditures?
The very, very front, and it's like a little, it says Town of East Lyme, General Fund Expenditures.
All right, on the summary. Yep,
Just right there, and then get the last, two last pages.
No.
Yeah.
keep going?
Keep going, yeah.
Yep.
That's revenues.
Hit the purple
Okay.
sheet, you got one more place to keep it.
Okay. After that purple sheet?
Yep.
All right. There we go.
Bam, okay, now flip
Expenditure.
to the last page of this section.
Gotcha.
Next year, we're doing.
No, this is
magnifying
with,
glasses,
We're gonna do the
magnifying
tab.
well, this is with all the tabs, I put all the tabs in too, and
All
I'm
right, so the
still.
last page, all right, we're on
glasses.
the,
Wow.
So, just real quick, so I would start
yeah,
here essentially, so.
I say color-coded tag, and that's
Okay,
it. Just one of those
great.
color flips.
that's,
Okay.
yep.
Or iPads, we can go to tech guys, this is 26, next year will be 27.
You gotta talk to the
That'd be
board again,
game.
we can partner with their old ones.
Yeah, maybe get some,
Yeah.
Couple Chromebooks.
give me some, the ones that they're gonna throw away, right?
Yeah,
Guys,
really.
all good now?
I've
Okay.
already sent IT their way though, so I don't know how many they have enough to
Okay,
go
well-
around.
You never know.
You
All
never
right,
know.
so, tell us again, sorry.
Okay, so, let's start with, if we do principal first. The current budget for the principal is $1,085,000. Do you see that there? It is kind of middle of the pack on principal.
What's a bonds principal?
I see bond interest.
Flip,
I'm in the wrong page again.
that's when we cut back to second page. There's 2 pages with it.
Oh, okay, you're on this page.
1,085 right there.
Okay,
Okay,
got it. And
I got it.
and what are we doing?
so we're gonna cut that, by $340,000. The new amount will be $745.
And just
And that was
quickly.
because it was housed in 2 different spots, so it was
Two budgets,
double.
correct.
Right,
Yep,
so it
double
was,
budget.
it
Oh,
was, it
okay.
was double, it was.
All
yeah.
right, so,
That's the bond principal.
Yep,
Correct.
Yeah,
all right, so do we need to make a motion for this?
Yes, please.
okay.
Let me
I
see.
make a motion that we reduce line
It's,
105 4801 5879 GOB 19 from 1005 000.
no, 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 no.
$1,085,000.
What is?
Next one over, the $1,085,000.
1,085,000. Okay, 1,085,000 down to 745,000.
Which is reduction of 340,000.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All right, any further discussion? We all know where we're at here at this?
Yep.
Okay, good. All right, then if there's no further discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Great.
If you go next, so on that same work paper, just the next section down is the
Yep.
interest. We have
Yes.
an account there that has $370,506 in interest. If we can cut that back by $70,347.
Just a minute.
3,700 506.
Wait, what's the number? I just need to find it.
Is it the,
It
interest?
is the GOB 19, just located in the fund interest section. So everything's project-based, so look for that GOB 19.
G.
So the 370,000,
Yep, cut, reduced by
Still
70,147 for the new amount,
Oh, okay.
159.
Where'd you find it?
So it's on the back page.
Oh, I'm on the
It's
wrong
GOB
page.
19, it's like the fourth one down.
And it's gonna be from 37506
Yep, to 300, 159.
to 300, 159.
$300,159, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
It's on the screen here, too.
Oh, all right. Oh, yeah, okay.
All right, so I'll make a motion on, I guess it's bond interest GOB 19
Mhm.
to reduce it from $370,506 down to $300,159.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Candace. Any further discussion? If none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Kevin, just a quick question. What was the reduction of the amount?
The
The-
total reduction amount is 410,347. 410,347.
Got it, thank you.
You want to see what the impact is on the front screen here?
Yeah.
All right. 8.96%.
Okay. That's on the,
No, your front sheet's not going to look like that.
Okay, all right.
That is a $400,000 adjustment.
yeah.
But so your
Yep.
initial front sheet, what was the amount?
which amount?
I think it was like 9.5% mill rate.
9.5, yeah.
9.5 increase.
So shaved off about 55 basis points.
All right, so now down to 8 point,
Now we're down to 8.96%, so we're sub 9%.
Wow. all right.
So that's all I had for like clerical areas.
Yeah, yep.
The rest is,
All right, so where are we going now, Dan? To the first page, or?
Start with general government.
Okay.
General government.
Okay, so,
First selectman, is that what we're looking at?
are we,
Are you at first selectman, or am I?
which one are we?
Is that the first one?
Well, you said you were starting with the first, so,
Mine's first selectman.
10541. If you want that front sheet, if you guys want to work your way down, that's probably the best. That like expenditure sheet right after the summary and the revenues we're just kind of in.
Oh, okay.
That also correlates through the book, right? So
Oh, what,
you see the part, the first department's 1054111. That's the first department on that page. That's how it correlates.
So,
So start with first select.
so we're on the first selectman? Yes, okay.
all right.
So
Wait,
just
I
say,
look-
are you in the detail or are you in the summary sheet on the front?
I'm in the detail.
I'm in the
I like the
detail.
So just
detail,
so you know that
yeah.
They relate, they just, they correspond to each other.
Do you
So the
see it?
book-
I'm in the detail.
Okay, perfect.
There's also the summary sheet, so if you can flip back and forth if you
Okay,
want.
yeah, I feel like
so it
I,
should be the
Yeah,
same
I
numbers,
want-
right?
yeah,
detail,
I kind
too.
of want to be in the detail,
Yeah,
All right, so,
agreed.
but thank you for that.
all right, so I'll abstain from this, mine, discussion.
I don't know if you can.
Well, I don't think
If we
you,
vote on
we don't have
anything.
enough to vote on.
Well,
So why don't we just pass this one?
okay.
And then when we have
Yeah.
Roseanne or
Yeah.
whoever else here, then we can
Fair enough.
continue. All right,
So we're all going to abstain.
moving on. All right, Board of Finance is next. So,
Why did
They-
we just skip over first selectman?
Yeah.
because he can't vote on it because it has his salary, and so we don't have a
Oh, and
quorum.
because,
And we don't
We don't have
Okay.
enough people.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
Okay, yep, I appreciate it.
All right, yeah. All right, so Board of Finance, looks like they went up for recording secretary, because they have a lot of the meetings with budget meetings like we do, and they have to have it recorded, and then auditing services. And I think that was pretty much it, so.
That's what I noticed.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's
think you
very
can
minimal.
really cut anything.
No.
I don't know if anybody else thinks so, but I'm not thinking there's really there.
Okay. Finance office.
Finance.
Finance department,
Or finance.
right?
We're at the finance office, correct?
Finance department.
1054120.
Yeah.
Correct.
I'm just, I'm working off of the sheet in front of that.
All right.
Yeah.
So, let's see. I just thought it should be noted that the treasurer is an elected position, but I guess he also gets paid, which I was not aware of that. So that's the top one. Let's see, finance director. Kevin, I guess I can ask you, finance staff wages went up 7.5%. Is that, what, can you explain that?
Yeah, so that will come down in future years, but right now we are, there's, some, as Teresa mentioned last week, we're reducing the accounting receivables clerk from full-time to part-time. We're adding a few hours to the staff accountant that is also looking to retire in the next 18 to 24 months, just to catch up on our audits. So the additional bump there is for audit work, catch up on audits.
So
Okay.
will that end when you're up to par with the audits?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it will drop off?
Yep. Yeah, I foresee the staffing in the finance office to be shrinking every year. There's
Oh.
much more expansion happening.
Okay.
Well, right, I mean, we were talking about that, wasn't that just the other night? where-
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that just evens out, that's just, yeah,
Can I
efficiencies.
ask, what year are we in audits that were
So right now
actually
we are
filed?
working- Yep, so we are working on our 2024 audit.
Oh,
We have our 2024 audit done, we'll start attacking 2025.
okay.
In 3 months, we'll have the 2026 audit to work on.
Oh,
So it's
great.
just kind of catching up to a train that just keeps moving.
Okay.
And the months keep, you had a chart the other day,
Yeah.
it keeps decreasing the
Yeah.
amount of time that,
Yeah, no, I
You're
remember
catching
you
it.
showing that.
Yeah.
That's great. Well,
Yep.
thank you for that.
I just realized something. According to Robert's rules, we can still vote, even, a quorum was established at the start of the meeting, so you don't have to recuse, if you do recuse yourself, we still can vote,
okay.
and it's still an authentic vote, unless someone feels otherwise.
I kind of feel like we
I
should
wish you
hold
wait.
off, just,
Yeah.
we don't
Yeah.
have
There's
Cindy
not-
here, and we
yeah.
don't have Roseanne.
Yeah, I would
So,
wait.
yeah.
We're moving forward.
All right, let's see.
Assessor's office?
Hold on, let me just see. Professional conventions, conferences, is that just for like continuing under finance, Kevin? Is that
Oh,
just
sorry,
continuing?
still finance.
So the reason that's going up, Mitch got his, the deputy finance director, Mitch Nixon, got his purchasing agent certificate.
Oh,
So we have to
congratulations.
continuing professional ed for that, as well as pay for the license.
Oh, there's continuing ed for that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I did that at one point. All right, I'm good. All right. Next is the assessor's office. It looks like it's down negative 0.13%, so. Don't think we can do too much with that.
Big savings there was the, I spoke with Diane,
Mm,
in the miscellaneous supplies, there, that's essentially the technical supplies line.
mm.
There was a big savings having to do with the state of Connecticut changing the value of cars last year. with the
Ah,
schedules.
oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So now there's no more looking them up, the car is what it is.
Right, they were paying a lot
Oh,
for those,
every car you search,
yeah,
so.
Yeah, if you-
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah, it was really expensive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
What do they call that, like Blue Book? Yeah, the big,
That got bought out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Blue-
it's either
really?
JD Power or
JD Power,
NHPA,
but they
and-
charge you a lot of money for every time you look up a car.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't remember which one bought one out, but
Yeah,
You can't just like Google it and do
it
it?
has to be,
anything?
has to be like,
Oh.
you know,
not if you're an organization.
Maybe if you're in a municipality.
yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, only just,
Well,
depreciate.
okay. All right, Board of Assessment Appeals, 1054132. Let me see what we got here.
Went up $700.
Yeah, so there, yeah, just
Anticipated for the
clear,
revale. It's anticipation for the revale going down the pike.
Yeah, so it's gonna,
The clerical secretary? Is that right? Yeah.
More meeting minutes.
More people are gonna,
people that appeal it, and then they have to have minutes, and,
oh, yeah.
yeah, they have to have clerical stuff.
They don't usually have that many people there, but I think with the reval, they're going to, yeah,
Yeah, I think this year you'll probably see more. than in the
definitely.
past,
Yeah. Okay, so I think, I don't have any shoes. All right, next is tax collector,
Yeah.
3.09% increase.
And,
Now, the tax collector got a,
if you read in the description, she passed their course classes.
is that where the 5%?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right, so
Passed
that's
three
for
tax
class.
collector classes, so she was down to a bump.
Okay, just so we know why. All right,
Yep.
perfect.
Everything
All right.
else is pretty,
Yeah, that looks good. All right, tax collector. Human resources. All right, dues, all right, that's, those are 3.81. So the director, again, I guess the question is, there is a 5% raise?
yeah, we brought her up to closer to where some of the other HR directors are.
if there's a hiring freeze, could we scrub out that money for background checks? Or are we anticipating
We-
that the hire freeze would,
We still have to be able to do them.
okay,
Yeah, I mean, eventually the hiring freeze will end, and,
and you wanna have some money available to do it?
yeah, especially if we're, you know,
Because this is for the upcoming year,
yeah,
right?
upcoming year,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we have to have that. Professional dues, that's overall 3.81, pretty good.
All right,
Services to the community.
government and miscellaneous and benefits.
So there's a, which one do you want to do? Service to the community or government?
Did
I
we,
have,
did I miss something?
I think I just threw services and community in here, I don't think it's necessarily in this proper order.
I mean, where it is.
Figuring that out.
Government services
Government.
and benefits. 142.
Government miscellaneous and benefits?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, 1054142?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
yep,
So just let me know, we did skip over,
What?
legal. I think legal and 4142 are in the same section,
I didn't,
so just to let you know.
What did we skip
I
over?
don't see.
I didn't
legal.
see it in the,
Legal. Let's not skip over
So
legal.
just pull up the, if you pull up the, it should say 1054139 across the top.
Oh, I do have it. It is actually on the very same page as general fund budget, government miscellaneous and benefits. You just had it. And
is it after human
no, it's
resources?
literally, it's right on that page and it's right here. Legal services is,
Oh, okay, all
Right
right,
there
I
at
see
the
now,
top.
yeah,
Yeah.
all right.
Essentially, there's 3 departments in one.
So
it's
Yep.
right
here.
Benefits.
Uniform chart.
Legal. See it?
legal ads.
Yeah, just legal, and there's labor, whatever, legal ads, all this. This is
Oh,
all
oh,
legal
oh, legal.
services.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
legal.
Gotcha.
Is that, those legal ads? No, I'm sorry.
so this is what we were speaking to the other night, where it's at 50%. Is that accurate?
100.
So I have a question about that. If, I understand that the law firm merged or joined another firm, I get that. But do we have a contract with them for a set amount for our, the bills we're charged for services rendered?
We,
Or did they, you know what I mean? Like, I would assume that there's a contract saying this is what we contracted for, and then to all of a sudden get an increase, is there a contract in place? Maybe that's my question.
so we have to make the choice to enter into a contract for the next 4 years with legal counsel. It's a 4-year appointment. So that's why we did the we did an RFP. We're working on it to get some new numbers.
So we're not paying the additional then? I mean, if we have a contract in place for X, and they change the fees to Y,
Jan 1, yeah,
January 1, the fee changed.
the fee change. So we are paying the higher fee.
And-
until
and the
December, the fee changed for Jan 1. So now, direction for selectmen, we are paying this right now. We're
to
paying
see if they're in line with their new rates or in line with competition.
but I guess, so their contract with the town expired? Is that what you're saying?
Their appointment expired at the end of December, so January 1st.
Okay. But,
they-
so their appointment, but what I'm saying
We
is.
we haven't appointed them, but now it's almost like a month-to-month rent with this is their new rate, and we haven't negotiated a new rate yet. So that's why we're in that process of getting an RFP.
So I guess my question is that when you appoint some legal services, do you have a contract in place?
Yeah, there'll be an agreement with them
So,
for hourly
so
rate.
then, my question is, if you have an old contract, you have a set rate, doesn't that rate continue until you form a new contract?
Oh, I have to look at the, are we?
Are you following me?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I think now that the terms expire, I don't know
Expired.
the details of it, but, they're up for renewal. I don't know the specifics of that contract to that level of granularity of what they're allowed to increase and when they're not.
Yeah, I don't either, as we sit here.
Could you
Yeah, I'll
look
find
at
out.
that contract? Because,
Well, there's the old contract, so there's a new proposal, which we haven't agreed to yet. But I think they're billing us
Because
at
ours
the
is
new rate.
expired. Is
yeah,
that
but what I'm saying
Yeah.
is they're billing
So
at the new
ours is-
rate, but
Right.
it's,
Right,
It
because we are
should be-
expired.
yeah, but you should,
You should still.
unless you
say-
agree to
I'd
the
say-
new rate,
yeah.
you should be paying the
The old rate?
original rate,
Well,
correct?
that's what I have to look, we'll look into it, I'll look into it. Yeah,
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
yep.
And if you don't have any other questions, I have some questions on this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
For
Go ahead.
understanding. Okay. So, are we talking about the Tracy Collins that gives us legal, or do we have two separate legals? What do we have currently?
So we have multiple law firms that represent us in
I see.
different
Yeah, okay,
capacities.
okay.
So we
So
have,
this is only one? Okay,
Town council.
Town
So it's
council.
yeah,
just-
there's town council for general government, and
okay.
that's Tracy Collins and her new law firm that she's a part of. It used to be Waller, Smith and Palmer.
Okay, so we are talking about the firm that has Tracy.
Yes, that's right,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
She's our town attorney.
She's like,
Okay.
yeah, and then we do have labor council, which,
Okay.
for union negotiations, if we have an employment dispute, we have a separate council for that,
understood.
yeah.
So now this council that we're talking about going out to RFP has
Mm-hmm.
expanded or has merged with another firm.
Yes,
Okay.
that's right.
Does that mean, I'm trying to figure out what we're gonna get more of for the amount. So I had referenced the other night about having the ability to have access to different lawyers that have different experience depending on the need. And more of a retainer type of model. And I hope I'm saying things right. I'm thinking to myself kind of where I've been with Board of Ed, right? Because that's my example, it's my
Yeah, sure.
comparable.
Yeah.
Versus an à la carte. So, thinking municipal-wise, to be safe, to have the support that's needed at any time, you know. Do we have that ability with Tracy and other lawyers now because they have expanded?
So they were absorbed into the new firm is, I can never think of,
Carmody Torrance?
Carmody Torrance, and they have a deep bench. And,
Okay.
yeah, and so there are many attorneys there that have expertise in various areas.
Which is a pro.
Which is, yes,
It's
that's
just the
right.
price is not the pro. Clearly, that's a whole lot.
Yeah, so so they have more lawyers that have deeper expertise in different areas that we could rely on. They also, of course, Tracy, and you know, she has the history of all the years that they represented the town, so you have to factor
Yeah.
that, the value of that history. So they handle most of our general government.
Do they hire they handle contracts too, right?
Yeah, contract, I mean, if we have the first place they talk, unless it's specifically an employment law
Okay.
issue, that's where I would start. Now, sometimes there's conflicts of interest, occasionally, and when there are, then, you know, we will have to turn to a different law firm that has expertise. And that happens more often than in, you know, my office, than it happens in zoning more often. There are certain restrictions for various reasons that Tracy Collins can't represent us because it's a conflict. And so we have to turn to sometimes Sussman Shapiro, whoever else is the person that they use when they can't use Tracy
Okay.
for the zoning matters. So you have the zoning issues, you have general government, and then you have labor. And then you have these one-offs or these oddball situations. We talked a little bit about if we have a lawsuit. So you have just like if you have a car accident, you call your insurance company, and if you were at fault, they hire counsel to defend you. You don't pay for that defense counsel, your insurance company does. And likewise with the town, if we end up embroiled in a lawsuit, typically the insurance company, it's Kerma, that is our insurance company, they will hire counsel. They have lawyers for certain things that they hire.
Right.
And we don't pay specifically for those lawyers, even though they're engaged in representing us, we don't get a separate bill from
I
those
see.
lawyers.
Okay.
So make kind of.
Well, I'm definitely in support of going to RFP. I just am concerned, and I asked this the other night
Yes.
at the meeting, that
Right.
this is gonna be a collective decision on what we're doing, and I would want the information as far as what we're getting versus what we're paying, because I truly believe, like, things go back to contracts and making sure everything is dotted and crossed. You
Right.
go into contract negotiation, no matter what it is, under whatever, you go in with your lawyers and you wanna come out with a very good outcome, right? But you need that legal eye to guide you into the right contracts for us.
Right.
And that, in turn, will protect us. So, without kind of going into details or talking about where we are, I just want to make sure that our town and district, and no matter what we are in, that we are protected
Right.
at all costs. And the truth of the matter is that investment is worth it. So I'm
I
not
agree.
saying that going up this much, it very well may turn out to be the right thing. I don't know. But
Yeah.
definitely on board with the RFP to kind of go out. I just don't want to lose support and legal watchful eyes and guidance.
No, I
because
understand
the truth
that.
is
I understand
we
your concern.
really want to protect ourselves
Right.
going forward. That's all.
But, I think it was, it's the right thing to do to make sure that if we stay with our current law firm, that they're in the ballpark of what is reasonable now. And the only way you can know that is to do an RFP, and then, of course, you factor in those other factors, the history, the things that you're concerned about. And we will do that, and we'll do that as a board. That isn't going to be my lone decision.
Thank you for that.
We'll get the information, and then we'll have a discussion.
All right, so I have a question
Yep.
about, for Kevin, regarding health dental care. Now, I know everybody's saying the health care is going up, I don't know, was it 15%, something like that?
Well, we
Is
budgeted
that-
15.
Is that a definite amount, or when does that come
Yeah.
through?
We don't know.
We'll find out probably next week or so.
Next week or so? Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
I think everybody's got their fingers crossed for less, because
Yeah.
to my knowledge, the Board of Ed also budgeted 15% too, and it's always
Yeah.
this way. We're always, it's
Well,
good to
that's what I
budget
didn't know.
higher, and hopefully it's less.
And it's been that in the last
Yeah.
couple of years.
Well,
we've
it
had that.
has.
Well, that's
But
why I
you
was
can't
asking
count on
when
it.
we were
Yeah.
gonna get
You
that
don't know.
number.
Just a caveat for the board, we have a broker that we deal with.
Okay.
And usually we hear, every couple of weeks, updates from the state partnership plan. Last update was, it's trending towards the number they projected,
Okay.
which was
Yeah.
15. Prior year, they projected 15, 16%.
They did.
And they brought it down to 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's not, they're
That's not
telling us
happening this
now,
year.
that's not happening this year.
Okay.
So just,
Okay.
if
Heads up.
you're thinking that's a number we're gonna touch, we'll find out more in the next couple,
Yeah.
week or so, but I don't foresee that going down more than 1% or should get to
Yeah,
those down.
that's my
So
guess.
in general, just big picture, who determines like that? Is that just the insurance company or the state, or like
So,
who?
We're in the state partnership plan.
Okay.
Now it's called. So we're pooled in with state workers and the state, RFPs for, what's it called, the pharmacy care manager. They just wanted to RFP for the actual health insurance company. So they RFP every year or 2 or 3, whatever the contract is.
Okay,
So they're procuring with their, statewide procurement policies. They're going out and they're shopping these all the time.
Yeah.
So they
Okay.
just shopped the health insurance piece of this, and Anthem, I believe it is, who hasn't currently won it again.
okay,
So we're locked in for 2 years with that, but they are constantly looking for the best rates, because this is 15% of the town side, that's at the state budget too,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? You're talking a much, well, that's probably 3-4 digits added to it.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
So they're always looking to shop for the best price as well.
Yeah. And if we hadn't have made that change, it would be even higher.
It's 22%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would be, and
I
so
remember
that
that.
movement and collectively doing it with the Board of Ed, I remember doing that
Yeah, I
and being
do
there
too.
part of it. I mean, it was definitely one of the best decisions that I think we had made.
what was it changing?
Collectively.
I'm not following you.
Well, if
We
we,
weren't on the state plan.
right,
We were self-insured.
it was self-insured,
And it,
so we would be paying
we
upwards of
suffered.
22 to
yeah,
23%.
it was unbelievable. We had to pay.
Yeah, so I mean, that change was worth it,
Yeah.
but I think that it was
Yeah.
palpable to actually say it publicly, because I think that, if anybody's listening, or, people that do tune in to listen to the meeting minutes, that they have an understanding of,
Yeah.
kind of where we're at, and we're, in a better case scenario with the state plan versus the other. We would be looking at much, much higher, so.
Yeah.
Now, just one more question. When they go out to health, you said Anthem, I guess, was the best deal
Or something.
for the state. Is there a separate one for dental care?
Yeah,
There
they're
is.
shopping each one of those out.
They do.
I don't know who got the dental one, I just saw. the
Okay,
award
so they each
just
do
the
them. That's
last
what I
week.
was wondering.
Yeah,
Okay.
the award just
So-
the last week was the health insurance piece.
Thank you. All right. And then obviously you'll fill us in on what
Yeah.
happens with that. I'm sure
Also, I
we'll.
recommend, as we make at the very end of
Yeah.
Board of Selectmen deliberations, we touch back on this.
Yes.
Just as the salary lines, and everything change, and we move start dates of positions, things like
Right.
that.
All this is gonna
Let's have it
fluctuate.
correct. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so we're gonna see fluctuations here as we make decisions as we move through the budget.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, I mean,
understand.
yeah, 'cause-
Yeah, because if we change,
There was a number I didn't give you
Employees.
guys earlier in your presentation. You want to know the value of a firefighter or the annual cost?
Yeah,
It's about 135,000. Of that cost, nearly 40,000, just town side alone, is health insurance. 39,104 for health insurance, retirement's about 8,000,
Mhm.
the FICA is $6,000, salary's 81. That's not including turnout gear, uniforms, so other things like that, but that's just, when you're talking about staffing and levels like that, one person drops that number $40,000.
all right, but you've got
Just so we all,
turnout gear, uniforms.
so what was that number,
Salary.
one,
Hold on.
135.
135?
So
Ballpark about
40 for,
135.
about 40 for health insurance, 8 for,
Retirement.
oh, hold on a minute, I can't read my handwriting. Retirement, 6K for FICA,
Yep,
and 81 for salary, basically.
81.5-ish. And that's not
Okay.
inclusive of overtime, so you can't really,
All right, then there's plus overtime, and then you've got turnout gear, uniforms.
How much is the gear roughly?
couple $1,000
Yeah.
a set, I don't know exactly.
2 or 3, because you got the scuba tanks and the whole.
Yeah, so we'll say 4.
I mentioned the SCBA tanks, things like that, they have redundancies, but the
Yeah.
actual turnout gear with the
They-
main
they have
clutter
to-
on the
yeah,
back,
Okay.
they
you
have
need
to-
2 sets per
Right.
person, right?
Yeah.
Because you need a set, when you're wearing, if God forbid they have a fire,
Yep.
they can't wear that carcinogenic set.
Right.
Again, they
If
have to
that's
go get,
contaminated,
yeah.
put another set on, so you're talking double sets.
Double sets.
So just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So now I have a question. I asked this the other night. So this encompasses tentatively 6 positions for the fire department, correct?
Correct.
These
And
numbers do, yeah.
those numbers. So that is reflecting of it. So if it doesn't go that way or whatever, then these
These
numbers
numbers will
change.
come down some of
Right.
them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely. So I just wanted to give that, you guys that number.
Yep.
Thank you. Any other questions on this page?
I'll flag this to come back later.
So I'm just reading here, on the second page, under, it said contracted operations services, it says cybersecurity insurance is 0. Is that, did that go
IT?
to
Absorbed into
IT?
the IT budget.
Okay, that's what I thought, because I didn't say, yeah.
Yeah, it was moved over, so
All right, makes sense.
that's another issue.
Yeah.
We're still keeping the active assailant insurance.
So, just a question on eviction, moving, and storage. Why is the town responsible?
State statute.
State statute, okay, got it.
We asked the same thing last year. Yep.
It just doesn't,
Comes up every year.
yeah. I'll probably ask,
$200.
I'll probably
Yeah.
ask again, and not that it's a lot of money, but it
That's
just,
just for a legal notice, I believe, right, Sam? If someone does get evicted, we store their stuff at the field service, not field service, transfer station.
Yeah, we have a box there now.
Spots for it,
Mhm.
but that's it, I think you have to put a legal ad.
Yeah, so we save money doing it that way.
Just a nice, it's $200 just in
yeah.
case.
Okay, let's see. How are we doing? All right.
All right,
We're on technology, right?
Do we want to go to services to, oh, we're going to skip over that for now? Services to community?
yeah, let's just
Yeah, we'll skip over
go
that.
through the, I have to
Why are we
find that.
skipping over it?
We're jumping over first selectmen.
Huh?
I guess I
Yeah,
don't know
let's
where
keep
we
track of what we're skipping here. We skipped first selectman and we skipped services community.
Why are we skipping services community?
because I have to find it.
Oh,
I don't know where it is.
Was it services to community?
Got too many papers.
I got one here.
You really want to know?
Did you want to go over that? Do we want to do services to community?
Oh, it's that? Wait a
Yeah, I
minute,
think
maybe
we
I do
should.
have it. Okay, all right, we're good, I found it. Sorry, too many papers.
no.
No. Well, services community is just handed to us, and I think we all just put it where we put it.
Yeah. All right, so we did the assessment.
All right, so what are we doing next then? Services community?
Yeah, this is like the 22 something thousand. Yeah, thank you. Oh, that's good on my memory.
What's that?
Yeah,
I know, that's why.
Oh,
You wanna
okay,
pass
so
it
do you
then?
Do you
want
mind
No, I don't mind.
passing?
We'll
Yeah.
pass it till Rosanna's here?
Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think
I
that's.
think that would be, yeah, that's
We are
it.
still waiting on some requests to come in.
Okay.
Oh, really? Oh, all right.
Just so the board knows.
Okay, yeah,
All right,
Then that would make sense.
yeah, that's fine.
Let's do that.
Onward to IT.
IT,
Okay, I take.
all right.
154.
so IT, here we go.
I feel like
Okay,
this
so
budget
this-
just absorbs so much, it's hard to
Yeah.
get a read on what's, changing year
So
to
I
year.
think that this is the one that I had suggested that they partner with the Board of Ed because they have what is considerable purchasing power, and they might be able to really save some money there. So
For which one, Board of Ed?
So they're purchasing,
I
you know,
had
you-
suggested that IT partner with the Board of Ed because they have significantly higher purchasing power.
Oh. Oh, yeah, okay.
So, on what to,
For licensing and other IT services.
is that something that? Partner with the board of-
He said that he was going to reach out to them.
And I believe you did. I think Mary Ann
Oh,
and
good.
are working together, so when
Oh,
they put their
perfect.
order in, from what I understand, Marianne, if you're listening, you can text me.
She's amazing.
So what I understood was, Marianne will work with Dan Cleary, I think it was Marianne on the board
Yes.
side. So when they buy their laptops, if the town has a budget for, $20,000, they're $1,100, how many can we buy? We'll buy 18 laptops.
Right, and it'll be
Just
cheaper.
tack it on, yeah, tack it on.
Get some economies of scale with
Yeah,
them.
well,
Yeah.
they just have such a, they're buying things in such bulk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're
No,
getting it for,
that was a good
a few basis
suggestion.
points more than cost, price would be
Yep.
other.
So does this impact this budget then?
I think that was more of a
Capital,
capital item,
yeah.
because I think that's the majority of their.
Okay, all
That's
right.
where they have the.
This is
Yeah, it was in the
expensive.
CIP, okay, all
Right.
right, all right.
Yeah, I think that's my recollection.
I also kind of kicked off informal discussions with some representatives from other towns, Waterford and Old Lyme, about, my idea was GIS. If every town is using this, why don't we pool together? And there seems to be appetite for working together on some issues like that. But that will not be reflected in this budget. Those are conversations that have to happen
Down the
over
road.
months.
Well, definitely worth the conversation, for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
And what was that for?
Well, I got the idea about this GIS, annual licensing and hosting. It's like,
What is
if you have 100 people doing these GIS licenses, it's less per person than if you have 50 people doing it. There's this economy of scale. And so we have people right next door that are using it. They're in Old Lyme and they're in Waterford. They're using the same system. Maybe we could combine our purchasing power.
It's worth it.
53524 is the account number. The JS licensing and development account for those.
What is the GSI or GIS?
When you look at the maps, like if you go on the GIS system, you can see where your house is and
Where the property lines.
the property lines and the butters, and so they use it in planning and zoning all the
Okay,
time. Yeah.
got it.
And I just feel
Quite
like,
interesting. I love looking at that. So.
but I feel like with software companies especially, the increase in software costs just keep going. And
Yeah.
I don't know what you get for it except nothing.
A bill. Get a bill.
I'm skeptical of those subscription services. And
It's a great model
I guess.
if you're on the receiving end. Okay, so that's GIS.
Let me see. So there was an issue about, I think Jason had brought it up, about flock readers. We had 3 and they want to add 3 more. And they want to I have added backup internet connection also. So I don't know if we just discussed this maybe in the police budget. Is that where that would be?
I think it's capital.
It
Isn't it?
was, we were having, and I made notes in this very same page, so yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that that's what that was about.
Because I would be, I don't know where it would be, but I think 3 flock cameras are enough. I don't think we need to add 3 more.
I don't see that on the notes here.
So,
It's what?
yep, so let me just flip it.
And I don't know if I'm in the wrong section, but
It was a
they mentioned
$30,000 expenditure on the capital improvement plan.
So it was.
But they talked about information technology,
It
because I
was,
had it
it was
written here.
it was a question, I think,
Oh, yeah,
that
you're
was
right.
brought up.
Yeah,
So a lot of, if it's IT related, the chances are it sits in the IT budget. So on your front screen here, there's an account 53525, police EMD FMO IT support.
Yes, yep,
That
2
account is what encompasses
got it.
block cameras.
That's where that is?
So this past year,
Where
we
is
budgeted
this?
$9,000.
Where
This
are you
current
looking?
year, we budgeted
Oh.
$30,000. We've already cut this back on the
There,
first selectman's
I think.
account by
Oh,
$12,000.
okay.
You see it, 25907?
got it, got
Sorry,
it.
I'm
Thank
just trying to
you.
help her get where she
Yeah, I'm
needed to
just
be.
trying to find where we
Sorry
are.
about that.
Do you want to walk through what I said again, Ian?
Do you mind?
Yeah, no, so you have the detail page I have here, that, the details.
Okay, yep,
Yep.
So, right at the bottom here, you can see it says flock, the license plate readers. Last year's budget was $9,000. This current year proposed budget was $30,000. The first selectman has already cut this line back $12,000. So now the budget for flock cameras is $18,000.
okay, now
So it's
I'm-
doubling.
Yep.
I don't see,
You won't see that. That's,
It's
it's on the computer screen.
is it
It-
bundled in that FMO
Right.
thing?
Yes, correct. It's in that account that's valued at $259,073.
Oh, okay, now, okay,
Yep.
So you can see it went down from 316.
okay.
I reduced it to 259,073, and part of that reduction was reduction in the flock camera.
But overall, it's up 27% from the year before. But that does not just incorporate the flock, that's
No.
other
No,
technology.
other
It's other
things.
things,
Yeah,
yeah.
other tech, IT,
Yep.
other, yeah.
Okay, so does that then cut out the other 3 flock cameras?
No,
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 it encompasses them.
I think that adds 3 more, were they 3,000 apiece?
I believe, in memory, I believe it was $3,000
yeah, I have, he
per
said
piece.
adding 3 more.
Yep.
And so
So it's
where
9,000.
would they be added into? In the police budget?
No.
No, in this
The
budget
IT
right here.
In this IT budget, it's right there.
In this line, it's
Okay,
it's
so I
embedded in
guess
that line.
what I'm saying is, I would want to reduce it then so that we're not adding these 3 more flock cameras.
So we need to reduce it by another $9,000.
Because it was
You're
9,000,
currently at 18,
right, which is, that's the 3 more,
correct.
right,
Well, I don't know what the number is,
Yeah.
I'm saying it's going up from 9,000 to 18,000.
18,000.
You're currently 18,000.
And I reduced it down from 30.
Correct.
Okay, so
Right.
I would cut it back to the 259,073 by 9,000, if that's the
So-
cost of adding the 3 more flock
You
cameras.
want to reduce it to 250,073.
Correct.
I second that motion.
Let's get a motion. So, Ian, why don't you make the motion?
All right, on, let's see, under information technology, 1054143, line 53525, police EMD, FMO, IT support, I move to reduce the 259,073 by $9,000 to $250,073.
All right, that's, and Jason, you're...
I second the motion.
Okay, all right, we have a first and a second. Any discussion?
I would just like to say that there is a public hearing this Friday for state law concerning these technologies, so purchasing new stuff right now might be a little premature. It may come down the pike that we have to do certain things with them that we're not prepared to deal with. So I think it's a wise decision to kind of have a restrained approach at this time.
So are you saying they might require us to have them, like in this, so that we should?
No, they might require us to not have them, or there might be limits on them.
Oh,
The
okay,
thrust
might
of
be
it-
all right,
some
I just don't want to
restrictions.
take it out and then
No,
have
the
them say,
legislation was
you
put
know,
forward by the ACLU. They've brought forward, and they have some serious concerns about their use and their proliferation. So the thrust of the legislation, that, as far as I can tell, is limiting the use of flock cameras in municipalities.
Understood.
And not only the number, but in the way that they're used.
Yeah, and where
How
the
that
data
information is
goes,
treated.
how
and,
long it's stored.
There's a lot of issues surrounding it, so.
Got
So this is probably a, all right, so we have, any, did you
Yeah.
want?
I would like to have something,
Yeah.
So my recollection, I believe that the chief actually commented on that, and that he believed that there would be support to remain moving forward with the flock cameras. So whether or not there's going to be changes and or not, it should be interesting. I question why it was put on here to be removed, to be honest with you. I'm not in agreement with it. I would like to keep them. I think that it's very important to investigations, and, if, my kid was missing and, I was looking for them and there was a need, this is something that would be utilized. And I think that they have been very, very helpful to our local police departments. I think that, maybe it's being put on the chopping block. Yes, it's going to save $9,000. But also I think that there's some personal thoughts on that too that are kind of impeding on that. I am not going to be in favor of that, and that's okay. But I wanted my comments to be on record.
So are you saying you're not in favor of the cut?
No, I'm not. And that's okay. I listen, this is part of the process. It is what it is.
No, I just want to make sure I
And I'm
understand.
looking for savings as well.
Yeah.
But I felt as though when the chief was here, he certainly justified, you know, the $9,000. And the motion has already been made, you know, so if it, you know, I would just counter, like, listen, okay, if you're not in favor of 3 to help, you know, if there is a need for those cameras to help in an investigation, you know, at least let's, you know, supply 1. That's where I would counter. But,
Supply-
you know, it's,
They
you know,
have
I
3.
get it.
They currently
I
have 3.
understand, and they wanted additional 3, so
Yeah.
she, you know, and that's okay.
So what are you thinking, give them 1 more?
Well, that's what I was thinking, yes, that's just kind of how I approach it, you know, if I've got the chief asking for 4 positions, I can't really give you 4, but maybe I can give you 1 or 2, you know, let's make some strides. You know, I just think this one's more of a little bit of a personal thing, just given the conversation about flock cameras and the indifference and all these different things. So, you know, the motion's on the table, let's just take the vote and let's move on.
So I guess I would just say that I'm not against flock cameras. I think we have 3, and I think that's adequate. So I don't see the reason at this point to add more. So that's where I stand on it. All right. Take a vote, or does anybody else have anything
I mean,
to say
I
anything?
think it's,
Go ahead.
Yep.
I think it's useful that we have 3. I think they're in key places. I don't know if we get, you know, any greater cover. If we have, of course, if we had 6, there would be in other places. But I think we have 3 on the main roads that are very helpful. So I'm comfortable keeping it at the current level for now, till we know more and see what the legislation does. And so let's call the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
We have 1 opposed and no abstentions. Okay, thank you. So the motion carries.
Can we stay on that item for a second?
Yeah.
There's one item, just reviewing it here, additional 3863. This particular line item, okay. hold on
Where
a
are you
second.
at?
Yeah,
Hold on a second, everybody. That same page.
okay.
Yep.
The line above the flock, Nova time, that has been sunset. So that is not needed for next year's budget.
So,
All right, there you go.
wait, I don't,
Oh, Nova time, you won't see,
3863.
It's not on here.
it's
So-
not on this, it's on his detail on the
Oh,
screen.
Yeah,
okay.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's part of that, 259 number.
Okay.
I can't see.
Yep, so if you guys just want to, maybe just turn your.
Let me see if I can see that. Oh, I can see that.
Yep,
Yeah.
so it's just tough, like zooming in, but, so there's the flock camera, you guys just got back to the 9,000.
Yeah.
This line right above it, this
Oh,
3863,
Nova time.
that's no longer needed now that we have
Yeah.
ADP.
Oh.
So if someone wants to do a motion for
Yeah.
that as well, we could say another 3863.
Well, I'll move to reduce the Nova time to 3863.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? All right. if there's
Is that
not- oh,
$3,863?
Yes.
Okay, got
Yeah.
it. Thank you.
And we no longer need it, it's, as you said,
Yeah.
sunset, so,
Understood.
okay. All right, we have a first and second. Any further discussion? None, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Good, thank you.
And just one other thing to note.
Yep.
In that section, I will work with, so hopefully we could have possibly 2 more meetings, but in that same listing here, if everyone just wants to turn around one more time.
Yep.
Sorry, guys.
No, no.
That's fine, I
Tax on
can
body
see
cam,
this,
patrol
it's
body
better.
cams, you see went from 84,606 to 92,300.
Yeah.
There is contractual obligations, built-in, what's it called, like, cost of living adjustments in that.
Okay.
But that might be inclusive of the 4 additional, right? And then
Ah.
you put that back to 2. So I'm
Okay.
gonna highlight that, that's something we can look at. You see what I'm saying? 'Cause every person has to wear body cams.
So
Yeah.
once we know what we're gonna do with the police budget, then we can revisit that?
Correct.
And it might be another
Okay.
saving.
Or something,
Yeah, yeah.
maybe, just a thought.
Yeah,
you know, to
no,
look at
so we'll
that.
put a little asterisk
What's it
here.
called? Body,
The Axon body cam?
go body cam, okay.
So right now, that probably includes 4.
I imagine it's including 4.
Yeah,
Unless they had a crystal ball and only did 2 or
Yeah.
something.
okay, all right. Another potential little nugget,
I'll get back to that.
great.
Okay.
Anything else? Yeah, go
Well,
ahead.
there's this other IT, now that we're kind of drilling down into the weeds here,
Yeah,
that's a pretty significant increase.
Which-
Is
What
it
are you
possible
looking
that
at?
we could get in there and monkey with that?
Which one are you talking about,
I'm
Jason?
talking about, in our budget, it's 53523, other IT services town.
Oh, 200,000, 290?
Yeah, 200,290. It's an increase of 76.84% from the year before. And I mean, we're digging around in this little box here. Other IT is a pretty big catch-all. I mean, that could be everything from a calculator to a MacBook. So I'm just wondering if there's some savings in there we can realize.
So, Dan Cleary, we have this running joke that this, he put in, there's a capital project request for 5-year computer replacements because the last couple of years, I identified it kind of as low-hanging fruit, and then we get to the point 3 years later where he goes, every computer's 7, 8 years old.
And it won't turn on, it won't do
all
anything.
that, and so you kind of,
Yeah.
so in the capital budget, there's approximately $50,000 to catch up. And the idea is, once we catch up, that's a one-time expense, and then every year, we just pay for it out of operating. So that's why you say it's 28.8 here, right? So I just want that caveat known. Dan, I didn't offer this up, they identified me for that.
Right, so we're including it in the operating expense now, where it used to be in the CIP budget.
Because we cut it, right, didn't we, from the CIP? Or we
cut it
reduced
back.
it, we reduced
back.
it.
So that's why I say we look at this line here, because okay, 20,000 for computers.
So that was another thing that I had suggested that he partner with the Board of Ed as well,
That's
right? And
That's what it is,
Okay.
yeah.
Right, I think that's.
So
what
we
we're-
need to come back to this,
I mean,
like-
so the idea is the capital project request
Yeah.
is a one-off due to the budget cuts from the last few operating budgets where this has been cut out. See what
Okay.
I'm saying? So that's why there's a catch-up saying, hey, look, the age of the computers across the entire town are now at a point where it's no longer an operational issue. This is now you need to invest capital to bring the system's age down from,
So-
5, 6, 7 years it is now to something, 3, 4 years.
So-
Get on a more of a rotating basis.
So these numbers reflect, I'm sorry.
So are you saying we should cut this then, because it's in the
No, I'm saying
capital?
exact
Leave it.
opposite.
Okay, you're not, I was, that's what,
So-
yeah,
Well,
no,
my
no,
computer
no.
start tomorrow morning, Dan.
So what happens
Okay.
is when you cut it, then they can't engage in the period, the yearly replacement.
Okay,
And then when you get to a critical situation, you have to put it in the CIP to catch it up
yeah, I
So
understand, and then
it's
it's
better to
bonding
keep
and
it-
it's- Yeah,
every year, so we don't have
Board
to
of Ed
get,
does the same thing.
they do, yeah. so-
yeah,
They do, because they have to.
yeah.
Okay, once you stop doing that, you
Yeah.
put yourself in a bad.
You create
It's a
a
cycle.
Yeah.
a hole.
All right.
Jason, you have the first.
Your line 32, end user cybersecurity training for this new technology, the Know Before. Is that coming out? Like, are we going to be trained on that?
We are currently, to your email, you probably get alerts from that Know Before.
I do, I hate them.
Well, just click on it, make sure you're up to date and compliant, because you'd hate to be the guy that.
Yeah, well,
wasn't
I don't wanna
compliant,
put
click
it-
on something.
Sensitive information at risk, but, yeah, it's,
Yeah, so that's training
annoying.
across the entire town, that does metrics.
Are we gonna get trained?
You got, your
We-
town emails get these.
Well,
same
you
alerts.
are,
Yeah, so we should
unless
get
you're not
trained.
participating in
Yeah, I mean, you
it.
definitely should be, if you get somebody that says no before on it, and it's like, there's a security class, you just click that link, it'll take you to the security class.
You must
Are we
do that through
supposed
the
to do
school.
that?
Oh, okay.
Don't
Yeah.
they do that through your district?
Are we supposed to be
They
doing
do it
that?
through mine.
I'm not telling the board of selectmen what to do, but I would probably take those required trainings.
Yeah,
Oh.
Probably not a bad
The
idea.
rest of town are compliant, we get, the
Yeah.
department heads get, alerts when your staff doesn't do it, so. we're
Oh.
trying to
yeah,
protect
and they
compliance.
throw out trickery too.
Oh, they're
Oh,
good.
yeah, and
Oh,
it's
yeah, is that
very
right?
smart. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh.
So just
I
something
don't even
to
know if I ever
keep the
saw
staff-
anything.
Well, it
All right,
helps
I'll look for it.
protect your information.
No, I mean, I don't know if I've even gotten any emails
And less
about it.
hacking, less
I
hacking.
have? Okay, well.
Yeah.
It's definitely less hacking.
Mhm.
The good thing this does, so it trains the employees to look for certain things.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they'll send tests out. So they'll send fake emails that say, hey, click this link. You click the link, it says, congratulations, you just signed up for another training because you would have brought fish. You
Yeah.
would have brought a fishing attack into your town.
It's true.
And so it trains the end user to say, well, should I be clicking on that link? That looks a little suspicious.
But if
Yeah.
you don't click on it, then,
Then you're fine, you passed the
Right.
class.
oh,
Yeah.
I
It's
just
a test.
delete anything. I don't even read it. I'm like, I don't know what this is, delete.
Well, then you wouldn't be our
Yeah.
the people that just openly click links randomly.
No.
People don't
Delete.
realize really that it really can put you down a tremendous amount in the amount of money that it can cost you to get back online. So
yeah.
it's actually
Oh, yeah.
worth the education.
You've written and
Yeah.
buried in.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
grants
They're
are,
still not online, I know.
no, it's scary today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, can I ask a question about camera maintenance, number 47? It seems like a pretty steep increase also, over 100%.
I don't know if that is a contract, because I see the Sonatrol
Yeah.
name right there. So just so you know what the
Number
townwide camera.
47.
I believe he spoke to that when he was here. I don't think Jason was here for that meeting.
I think
when he was
that's
here.
The increase in that, Jen,
Yeah.
is for the anticipated townwide
Yeah.
camera projects. that are
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah, we're trying to increase security and have cameras, and so
Okay.
there's a cost associated with that.
But I think in the CIP, we were just doing the town hall
Just doing here
first.
at first, yeah,
And
then
then
next
later
year.
on, doing the
So
community center.
I'll ask about that.
But I think that's the software, there's the camera, which is in the CIP.
Yeah,
I think this is the licensing or the hosting,
yeah,
whatever.
okay.
And Goosetown is going up a lot, but that is because the chief has negotiated this new kind of way to get the old radios on the new system, correct?
So,
What are you talking about, Goosetown?
Goose Town. So, there are new
Is that up there?
vendor for the communications, and they
Oh, okay, all right.
they had the facility. We have a sort of an esoteric control board down in the public safety building, and kind of like a soundboard in music, but it's
Yep.
okay. So and you needed somebody that knew how to work with it and make it work and tweak it. Our other vendor really couldn't, and that led to some of the problems that we were having, is that this old communications console wasn't really being maintained properly. So Goosetown has the facility and the understanding and the experience with that board, so it just kind of fits in with everything else that they're doing. So we're now working with Goosetown for our communications. And one thing I've noticed, and maybe you've noticed that, Sandy, on the scanner, it's a lot clearer than it used to be. The radio traffic is a lot better. And I didn't really think much about it, but the other night I heard someone say, "Hey, I can really hear you now," it was one of the police officers. So,
Sure, they love that.
well, yeah, I mean, it's good. So the the new radios that the police chief was able to get functioning, and all those little things are now starting to come together, and we're seeing actual real world
Can you
improvements.
scroll down?
So yeah, so that's about Goosetown.
Oh,
Okay,
Yeah.
great, thank you.
Yep.
So not a lot of cost savings to be realized in there. But
No,
I
we-
appreciate you guys entertaining the possibility.
No, it's important that we have
That's
these
what we need to
discussions.
do.
That's why we're
I'll
doing
ask about those two accounts and see if we get them.
All right, are we at registrars? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this the accurate registrars or?
I think we passed over town clerk.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do we do?
4147. And then next is registrar.
I'm sorry. What did I do?
Go to town clerk.
I'm on top.
4147.
So we go to the
Right
next
after
one?
IT.
Oh, right after it. Right after it. Yep. Town clerk, I got it. Yep. Beautiful.
Town clerk.
Okay.
She's pretty lean here.
Yeah, not much.
Yeah, there's
Thank you.
really not much. Okay,
Thank you.
Okay.
we're good.
All right. Next. Registrars? Yes.
So is this the updated one or the accurate one or no?
This is the one I received from our meeting with the registrars for Dan's proposed budget. I do think there's a look that needs to be had, probably the referendum primary expenses, that is up.
Yeah.
558%? Well,
So it is cyclical. Keep in mind, depends if it's a state election versus a federal election versus a local election. I mean, when you look 2 years ago, the referendum primary expenses was almost $70,000. Right? So,
And is this a reflection of the early voting and all of that, right?
that's
Or is it
Part of it.
Oh,
yeah.
that's the driver, right? I just wanted to make
Days
sure.
of early voting or something like that, 7 days of primary. There's there's two tranches of early voting, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you look at 2025, that was 68, and then 2026 went down because,
And election day expenses?
Right, so
you have to have people
election,
there at
went
the
up.
polls. And
I know.
so the explanation for that is election day expenses are largely driven by the state and federal requirements, which I was going to say, as well as the difficulty of finding and retaining quality workers. New safety precautions for the staff and voter will continue. Additional staffing will be needed to facilitate curbside voting because that does require, both parties. Let's see. Turnout is anticipated to continue with more voter involvement, which it has been up, that's true, which means an additional 14 poll workers, an increased number of ballots that have been ordered in previous municipal elections.
So I guess my only question would be, I guess no one's here, but additional staffing for curbside voting.
Mhm.
So, yeah, if you just want to, quick little glance up here, is that in the primary or referendum line, I think
I believe, yes, that are election day expenses, that's what I was just reading.
referendum
Election-
primary.
I
Yeah.
Yeah.
the little detailed tab for primary, I have it called.
Oh. Yep,
Right.
referendum and primary costs, is that where you are? Yep.
Yep, so there's a $300, every location, looks like there's a $300 curbside voting, and then location 2. So this is ELHS, the high school, voting location 1,
Oh, that's right, because there's
Two,
3, yeah, yeah.
curbside voting.
So this is for,
This is for the primary. Yep, so this is for the
For
primary.
Democratic and
Because
Republican
there's
primary.
3 different
Right, this is the governor.
locations.
I think this is governor.
Yes,
Governor's, yeah.
so this is, so each,
So there's
so
3
for like
locations.
one day, one moderator gets $400? Is that
At that location, correct?
Yes, and times 2,
understood?
right? 3,
Okay.
forgive me, 3.
Yep, so
There's
the
3
community
different
center,
locations.
Atlantic Center, and then high school.
Okay,
Three
all right, I just
locations.
wanted to, okay,
Right.
understood,
And
So
one for each party.
location's about $6,000,
okay,
so you have 3 locations,
all right.
Yeah.
right? And then down here, the actual central office, the central counting absentees.
Mm.
Which is at the community
Which is at the
center.
community
Yeah,
center.
Yeah.
yeah,
There's additional, head moderator,
Yep.
some assistants, some checkers.
Yep.
And then there's some support staff as well.
yes. Okay.
And
So-
then,
So a lot of this, or the highest percentage really, is because of the regulations that are being put down from the state of Connecticut. Yeah, okay.
so that was just the primary, the same day primary, and then if you scroll a little further down, there's $600 for food, because we feed our poll workers. And then there's the early voting, which is an additional $20,000.
Right, so
essentially-
that's where that,
Oh, yeah, so
that's
same day
huge.
is
That's
20,000
approximate.
for 3 districts. Early voting's another 20.
Yeah.
And that's just at one location, I'm pretty sure. I think that's the community center.
It is, so, yeah, they only house it there, yeah.
And the registrars, they're not paid just through the regular,
So
how does that work?
the registrars get a salary being elected, and
Yeah.
then in the past, they've been getting additional pay for this early voting. They're getting a roughly a blended rate of about $35 an hour.
Okay,
So-
because they have to be there.
They're there, I mean, they're there from sunrise to sunset.
It's a long
Okay.
day.
Yeah, understood.
Having moderated,
Yeah.
it's 5 in the morning that we start, and
Yeah.
then we end at around 8, 9, possibly 10 o'clock at night.
Yes,
So,
it's a lot.
It's a
I know.
lot.
I did it once, it was a lot.
Is that right? 5 in the morning you get there?
5 in the morning,
Yeah, it's a long day.
yeah.
Well, we can save money by cutting out the meals. You get- No. Just kidding.
And there,
There's some slight other costs, $47 for ballot printing is in there, as well as updating and maintaining the machines for $2,200.
Yeah.
So
Right.
now, does this include, I'm seeing here under elections, election day expenses, and it says referendum primary? So, would there be any other just, the referendum is referencing the one that we do in May, correct?
I believe so.
For the budget?
All right,
I believe that
for the budget,
referendum-
all right.
Yep.
And then you primary and then election day, okay. All right.
We could also hold off on this one and ask one of the registrars or both of them to come in if we have any other extra questions, right? I mean, they don't get any, do they get funding from the state to meet?
That's what I was gonna ask.
mandated? See, we're in the same.
10,000 or something, it's not. it
So
doesn't-
again, it's those
this-
mandated things that are unfunded. Yeah, you gotta love that.
Oh.
Okay.
And so just so
Okay.
everyone knows, there's some spots, like, just look at the screen real quick, there's a few spots that are blank.
Uh-huh.
We leave those, like, for dollar amounts, where it says presidential election key. The reason we do that is so we know next year we build this budget, okay, what is it, just the midterms? Okay, then if that's the case, we don't need these, but we keep them there so you can
Right.
see if we're full staff, this is how many we need, just so kind of a rolling year after year.
Interestingly, they don't have anything on there for security, and I can't remember, I know I asked this question, like who covers that? Because they do have security during elections. The police officers are there, but I can't remember if it comes out of, well, I don't see it on their budget, so it must come out of the police
It means
budget?
police security at the,
I'm
Yeah.
curious if that's overtime, because I don't ever recall seeing a private duty bill.
Oh,
So they
okay.
might just, the.
absorb it into their
They
budget.
might put more on, I'll ask, that's a great
It's
question.
just a
Yeah.
good question.
Probably just gets absorbed in their overtime budget.
Yeah.
They put- Yeah, that's my
I'm
guess.
thankful for it, that's for sure.
What's that?
I said I'm thankful. I think everyone should be thankful for that
Well,
during
yeah,
elections,
I
for
agree.
sure. All right.
These days.
All right.
Is that primaries and referendums or?
Okay,
Mhm.
all right, let's see.
All right.
We're going next. The building?
Building. Frank full-time, building official, 2 full-time admins. 5. And it, let's see. Dues. Do we know why dues went up so much, 239%?
Let's see.
Maybe because you have more people.
Was that it?
It looks like there are a lot of people up top.
Let's see.
It says state and mandated membership in the International Code Council.
And we have a new building official, so maybe some of the, yeah.
And then it says membership in the Connecticut Building Official Association, Southeastern Connecticut Building Officials Association,
Yeah.
Association of State Floodplain Managers membership, and Connecticut Association of
So
Floodplain
the real big one
Managers.
there, looks like it's the first line, building officials themselves going up by 20 grand, 20 plus. That's because we have a new hire.
Well,
Well, I thought that was
No,
because
that's-
of the training that they just had. Am I wrong on that? Or am I right?
Are we talking about the, what line are you talking about?
I'm talking about the top line.
The salary line.
Build,
yeah,
So,
Building
So
official.
the prior building official left, the deputy official stepped in, filled in and became appointed. And so we are hiring now 2 part-timers
got it.
without benefits. So that's the differences there.
And that could explain the union dues, or the professional dues.
Yeah,
going
it
up
could.
Because you have more people.
So that line, my computer's not responding, I tried pulling it up. That was due to an increase in, what's it called, the International Building Code, IBC or something to that effect. It's just not pulling up for me. There's an enhanced membership that we're signing up for. So the new building official, if he has questions, he can get assistance. International Code Council is a $695 membership
yep.
that we're signing up for. That's essentially what's driving that increase.
The things are running very smoothly. Smoothest they've run in years down there.
And that additional $700 there, what that'll do is if the building official has a question on something he's not sure about,
Yeah.
there's subject matter experts at the ICC that he can, throw bounce ideas off of, have them review it for him. That's my understanding,
okay,
right?
yeah,
So it's
that's
an additional resource
valuable,
for the
yeah.
building official to,
Yeah.
if there's something complicated or.
Yeah.
So the addition of 2 part-timers, how is the applicant pool for such a position?
Just speaking, talking with the HR director, I think it is tough
Yeah.
finding qualified building officials.
Yeah.
They're
They're scarce,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I mean, the hope is that we do fill those positions, but that could be
We have,
potential
we have
cost
one,
savings
right,
if we-
We
that's,
have one of those part-time positions filled.
we have one filled, yeah.
Or at least tentatively filled, or agreeing with that person.
Yeah, it's, but something, it's in the works, I think.
Yeah, so one position's vacant, but one is, no, we have Red. No, we have two part-time.
Oh, okay, so
It
it's-
is, I'm sorry, I totally forgot about Red. Sorry, Red. But we have a part-time building official that's been here a while. He's looking to retire.
Right.
Poor guy's tried to retire for how many times now, and every time building official leaves, he says, I'll stay on for a few more months.
You just forgot who he was, so maybe.
What a great guy.
Yeah, great guy, and our new building official is really, you know, I talked to the contractors,
Specific skill
and
set.
he really works with them and just doing a great job, so. We really got that department straightened out, thankfully. Okay,
All right, next is planning
Planning.
department. If we're done with that one. So, it looks like it's not too much of it.
yeah, not too much going on.
No.
Zoning.
All right, zoning,
Okay,
1,048, what's that?
yeah, that was the,
Recording secretary went up,
To 38,000, and then the selectmen proposed 25,000.
So that's, I don't know, I can't hear myself.
yeah,
But, so that $38,000 was for a part-time, 20-hour-a-week position, in addition to the $3,600 budgeted for part-time clerical. So once the budget, came out, we noticed, there's kind of some strain here on the budget. We cut that back to $25,000, which is about $21,000 for a part-timer, and the remaining salary, or the remaining wage budget for the zoning commission secretary. recording
oh,
secretary.
okay,
Right.
understood.
So part-time clerical admin is for the recording secretary. That's how it's been in the past. But with, everything going on in the zoning world,
Yeah.
the request was for an additional admin down
and
there.
especially now with these changes under the new housing bill, they're gonna be very, very busy
Yeah.
in the next several months. So we're gonna need the extra clerical help.
I don't see too much else.
And just the one thing just to mention to the board, traditionally in the past, the zoning commission, I believe the planning commission, would put money aside, so you see the $1,000 cut, it's for purchase professional services there. That line was cut, here, I'll highlight it for you guys, this line right here,
Oh,
line
thank you.
150.
Yeah,
We cut that back, so if they do need, what this was for originally was, if they need to put a deposit down on a subject matter expert in a zoning case, something like that, they have the money. Realistically, if they needed, to put a deposit down or something like that, Dan and I would find the $1,000, whatever it would be, until we can get a budget transfer. So it was kind of like a placeholder, but in the spirit of the budget, we needed everything we could get, so we took that $1,000 out.
About this part-time clerical recording secretary for zoning, this is a new position?
Correct.
So,
Well, 3,600 roughly, has always been there as a recording secretary. The part-time admin is new to that line.
this is in line with our hiring freeze practices?
So the hiring freeze is for this fiscal year, this budget's for next year.
This is
So
for next year.
usually July 1st, we stop hiring freezes. 'Cause
And the
new budget's-
rationale is that there's such demand because of this new housing law, so many new records that need to be kept. that-
There's just a lot going on
there's a
down
lot,
there. There's a lot going on down there, yeah.
And if it wasn't in the budget, then what would they be doing? They wouldn't have anybody?
Well, they have
There's
one.
two admin down there.
There's two, yeah,
There's
they have
two.
one, and there traditionally, there had been two, right? And then, yeah, and so one left, they only had one, so it's replacing the one that left and reestablishing that position.
Can you just add more hours to the other person
They're
versus?
both, there's two admin down there at 37 and a half hours.
Okay.
The second admin, Dan, started about a month ago, right before the spending freeze, that person got hired. We haven't seen because they're on vacation for a couple months, but.
Yeah,
So this would be like an additional person to the two that are down there, not a full-time, we're talking, 5 hours a day, 4 days a week kind of thing, to assist in zoning matters, right? Someone kind of higher, I won't say higher, but, to assist the zoning official in his duties, essentially, right?
And so they don't get backlogged and, all these developments, it's really, it's pretty busy down there, so.
I
Yeah, it has
just
to be
want to
adequately
say
staffed.
publicly that the only reason that I'm actually considering it is because it's more of an investment, and I feel like if we weren't to do it, that it could put us liable in certain areas where we might have more legal issues.
Well, that's a possibility too. I mean, you want to keep the pipeline flowing. You have
Oh,
planning,
100%.
zoning,
Yeah,
and
no, I don't want anything clogged up,
developers come
but-
in, and we have to be able to process the paperwork and not hold them up. And that's been a problem in other, a long time ago that created issues. So.
Could it be less hours and then open to additional if we needed more? Or how could that be, could it be framed differently?
I'm not trying to. Could it be?
Oh, I'm looking at Kevin. Could it be
I'm trying
framed
to
differently?
pull it
I got
up.
it, yeah. So I think he knows where I'm kind of going. Just
Yeah,
like a
what
little
we
bit
got on,
and then
yeah.
kind of go from there to see if it's enough.
So I thought I had a breakdown on that. I don't. It just
Okay.
says, when I look at the detail here.
Well, how about we just come back to it?
Yeah,
We can just
okay.
come back to it. It's
Okay.
fine. Let's just keep motoring, but we'll come back to that.
I'll write it down on our list here.
We have a few more sessions scheduled, and plus, I mean, we don't have Cindy here and we don't have
Yeah,
Roseanne here.
and if we're gonna hit public safety, that's gonna be a big one, so maybe I don't wanna make a motion, but I suggest maybe we do a couple more of these and see how long that takes us, and maybe call it a day.
Yeah. All right. I think we're doing pretty good.
I think so.
Made good progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So are we done with? We want to look at Brookside Farms. Not much there, right?
Well, that's where it's next.
Yeah, Brookside Farm Museum.
Oh, that is Roseanne, yeah. We
Yeah.
should wait.
Um,
All right, so we're gonna come back to
0.99%.
that. Is somebody marking down that we're coming back to it? Because I'm not.
Brookside. Well, we're gonna. Do you
Are we
want to just
doing
look
it?
at Brookside Farm? Why
Oh, I
not?
thought it was
Onward.
because Roseanne was.
Yeah, well, we have Brookside and then what's next, one more?
Yeah, let's do Brookside and
Judge
then.
probate.
Well, two more,
Yeah, but Judge of Probate's an easy one.
probate and then one more.
Okay.
All right, so Brookside
Let's do
Farm,
that. Well, that's where we'll end.
that's
Okay.
pretty minimal. I
Yeah.
don't really see any changes. I think when they came in and spoke, I think they've been getting grants too for
Yeah.
different,
Yeah, Anna
Um,
Perch has been working
yeah.
on.
yeah.
Grant, I'm
So
to get
I
a
think
help
that
on
they're
some.
pretty well set.
Yeah, I think we'll.
If-
Go ahead.
Okay.
Guys, I don't know if you're going in order, but I think we might have skipped historic properties / historic district.
Oh, how'd we do that?
No,
4159, go over it.
What's the zoning of Brookside?
no, we, in order of our,
Anything for 4149,
Let's see.
4159?
not in our,
I got
not in
zoning.
our book.
No.
There's only two line items. You want to touch it real quick?
Maybe that's,
Yeah.
Up here?
will you put it up there?
Yep, I can put it up here. Let me just pull it
Okay.
up.
Okay, thank you.
Huh, where'd it go?
Wow,
You don't have it there either.
you're right. Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, they're out of luck then. Okay.
Historic properties is
Wait.
history.
No,
Is-
hold on, I got it over here. Let's go down, where's my templates? I'm panicking. Templates, here we go, I gotta move it over. Didn't move it over.
There we go.
We met on January 14th at 4 o'clock and I never moved it. Sorry, Betsy.
She's probably yelling at her computer
Oh, she's
screen right
gonna
now.
have.
She's gonna email you tomorrow.
Sorry,
Hey,
Bets.
how dare you?
So,
Okay.
and you know what, we didn't, stand by.
Special project.
Let's see what the amount was, 3,000, 6,000, so here's the budget. So 3,000 for service contracts, annual maintenance contracts they have, and then $6,000 for the cemetery maintenance and historical society. So 2,500 for the historical society, 3,500 for the cemetery association.
And what is that, like to keep up the,
So we are
Property?
required as a municipality to maintain all the cemeteries in town. I
Yeah.
believe there's 17.
yeah,
People don't realize how many there are.
yeah,
And
no,
then, historical.
a lot of work and they do it.
19,
Popping up out of the woodwork.
okay.
No, that was a fun.
So maybe this is not the right time to begin this discussion, but it's an idea that I feel like has been bouncing around, and it's one of those emotionally charged ones. Historical properties, Brookside Farm, we've got all these different smaller properties maybe it's time to consolidate them into one organization and for budgeting purposes?
It's,
Is that the third rail? Am I?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a lot more involved. I
Yeah.
tried
It
to,
always is.
Hatfield's
Let's
and
get that
toys.
emotional
Yeah.
conversation going.
no, so
It's the
We were
people
so
who
close
are
to-
involved with them.
I was
think,
ex
want to have them.
officio for them, and
That was funny.
I tried to do a flow, I tried to create a chart, an organizational chart of how they all fit together, and
It's not going to happen in the next half hour.
no,
Okay,
it's
moving on.
very frustrating, and I'll bring you, I think I have my org chart over
There's
my
a little
other
ego
office.
involved in that, and like
There's ego all
Yeah.
over town.
territory.
Yeah, no,
That too,
I
yeah.
think we just,
Okay,
Forget I said
it'll
it.
be a project for another day.
yeah, not tonight.
Okay, are we good with historic properties, or do we want to pass?
Yeah, I mean,
Look,
We're
look,
down.
2%.
I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of,
Okay,
yeah, I
I
would say
think we're
no
good.
changes.
and I think
If we-
Brookside's good.
All right, judge of probate.
Not much we can really do there.
Judge of probate, just so everyone knows, we administer that, and what that's doing is really taking into account, now that we have a second person in building maintenance as a supervisor, this takes into account either half an hour or an hour of that person's time to supervise the janitorial staff over there in that building.
Cleaning up the building.
Yep, as well as, what's happening now is we are actually putting that, since that's, the building right across the hall here,
Yeah.
when that has pest control, alarm services, things like that, we're no longer charging them to the town's building maintenance line, since that's a shared resource with 3 other towns. So now that's being properly
Oh, okay, cool.
billed to that org, right? Does that make sense?
We're
So
talking
we're
about
sharing
judge
that
of
expense.
Probate?
Yeah, the probate judge.
Who else?
Yep.
Is it Salem and?
Salem, Montville, Old Lyme, East Lyme.
Oh, okay.
So it's a regional,
Yep.
Yep.
Regional.
98 regional
Regional
probate
also.
court. Yep. Okay, so finally, we're getting inland wetlands. I think this is where we'll stop. We'll do inland wetlands, and we'll be fresh when we.
I don't know, I might have another hot button issue to just throw out there at the end of the meeting. I'm just kidding.
On inland, okay. Oh, okay. This one's, I don't know. Just the,
Recording secretary.
yeah, the part-time clerical and recording. It's really not too much. Pretty straightforward.
All right, yeah, I don't see too
It
much.
seems
on
like
that.
we're posturing ourselves for an increase in land use. Is that predicted? With this recording secretary, we don't know.
You don't know, I mean, there's always activity and,
They have some long hearings on
Yeah.
on the
So-
ex
Oh, yeah.
officio for inland wetlands, and yeah.
They
it's-
go,
yeah, it can be quite
it's
involved.
similar.
Pretty hard.
Yeah, it can be
I think
long.
we got halfway through the book. I mean, measuring wise, but not,
And our next meeting is
Wednesday.
Wednesday
yeah,
at 5:30?
5:30, yeah.
Okay.
Can we talk about Thursdays?
Yeah, so there's a problem for Thursday, thank you for bringing that up. So we had noticed a meeting for this Thursday as well as a backup. But we discovered that both rooms are being used, this room and the conference, the other conference room. So I don't know, there isn't any other place that we could really conduct a hearing. What's that?
Monday, worst case scenario?
We have Wednesday
Yeah,
from
2 meetings
5:30, and then we have deliberations in the regular meeting, and then we have Monday.
We have Monday scheduled.
Is there a lot on the agenda, though, for Wednesday? Because is it,
Nothing, just
No, we're really just
Alright.
focusing on this.
great.
no business on the agenda.
Well, let's see how much we get through on Wednesday.
oh, okay.
I mean, there's just the
And then there
regular
would
stuff.
be Monday,
If we
right?
can't do
Yeah.
that, we have to cancel, and if you want a meeting on Thursday, you have to figure out where it's gonna be, because we have to file that. We can't wait till Wednesday and then schedule something.
Wait, we already filed the paperwork, or the.
You'd have to
notice.
change
Right, so we would have to, so that's why we can talk about it tonight. We could change the agenda tomorrow, that's plenty of time. Tomorrow's
We can change
Tuesday.
The agenda tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, we can't wait till Wednesday.
No. So that's why we
Well,
need
should
to,
we should decide right now then.
that's right.
Yeah.
And that's why, Sandy,
Well, there is a
Reminded me.
space downstairs I used once for a meeting. I mean,
No, it's.
That's now the HR director's office.
haven't been down there. in
The only
years.
other place that you could possibly do it would be, and I don't know if it's
the
available.
distance learning room at the high school?
I don't know, where the Board of Ed meets, is what I was thinking.
Oh, that's a good idea.
But I don't know
They're
if
probably
that's
using it.
something that we can use do?
What about the probate court? We're just talking about how we share that.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah,
there's
but
much-
you need, it has to be,
I think that
Must
is
be
not really.
required.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, so Wednesday, basically, we're gonna have.
We're gonna be starting at 5:30,
And what
With our
time?
deliberations, and then our regular
and
meeting.
a regular meeting, and there's really, the only thing on the agenda is a consent calendar and
And then we
delegations,
deliberate.
and then we're gonna be deliberating.
Oh, so
I didn't
We should
deliberately.
be able to get through a big
Well, then we have
chunk
Monday as a follow-up.
on Wednesday.
we have Monday
And
as
then
a
we have
follow-up.
And
Monday.
then Monday, we
Questions.
scheduled
Yeah.
it just in case.
So just cancel Thursday in general, is that what we're?
Yeah, I would say cancel Thursday and
Let's
then
cancel
go
Thursday.
forward
Just plan to
Monday.
Let's see how we make out on Wednesday,
And then is Monday Sandy, did you say?
No, we can meet again on Tuesday.
If we had
so
to.
After Wednesday's meeting,
we can
we
schedule
have time
another
to
meeting.
schedule that
Yeah.
If we want to have it
Okay.
as a backup.
Is this room available on
I don't know.
Tuesday?
Let's see, gotta check with Karen.
Yeah, we'll find out. All right, so we're gonna, so the way we'll leave it for now, we're gonna cancel Thursday. We'll see how we do by the close of our meeting on Wednesday.
Okay.
And if we feel that we want to have a reserve, then we can figure out a place for Tuesday to book another meeting if we feel we need it. Does that make sense? Everybody agree with that?
Yeah,
Yes.
All
yeah.
right, you good, Candace, with that? All right. All right, then, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn the meeting on March 2nd at 8:44 PM.
Do I hear a second?
A second.
All right. Any discussion? Not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? We're closed.
All
We're
right, 3+
adjourned.
hour meeting.